Hello, hello, hello. Uh, what's going on? It's Dusty, and
it's Daniel.
for the first time ever, Daniel.
This is the inaugural True 2 credit arcade stream.
It is. Ain't that neat? I can turn this up, actually. Oops, that made a button press.
Oh.
You get to miss the intro. We're playing Max Payne.
One of my favorite games.
One of my favorite games.
I think you were the one that introduced it to me. When you were still doing Dusty Plays Games. You did a bit of a let's play through Max Payne.
I did, and it was pretty sad.
Well,
it was sad because it never finished. Let's be real here.
I really enjoyed that. That was one of my favorite streams, or I guess one of my favorite
series
that you did.
Yeah, all like 4 parts.
I like the game so much that I started playing.
Yeah, it's a great game.
So I guess we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I don't have any amazing difficulties unlocked, so we're just gonna have to start with fugitive.
I mean, this game's pretty challenging, even on fugitive mode. So let's get started.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Standby, 1010, investigated reported disturbance at Acer Plaza.
10-4 dispatcher, verify address.
It's Acer Plaza, repeat, Acer Plaza.
Shots fired on the rooftop. An assault in progress at Acer Plaza. Repeat, an assault in progress.
Yeah, they certainly look
10-5, please repeat, 10-5, all units, emergency. Officer in danger, Acer Plaza, repeat, Acer Plaza, all units.
Well, actually, maybe not.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over.
Shout out to Sam Lake there.
On second
To make any kind of sense of it, I need to go back 3 years. Back to the night the pain started. I was still on the force back then. NYPD, Manhattan, Midtown North Precinct, Hell's Kitchen.
So when are you coming to work for me, Detective Payne?
You'd make me work undercover in some hellhole. Sorry, Alex. Michelle and the baby come first. See? My last smoke. It's bad for the baby.
That's you, Max. A regular Boy Scout.
See, Alex.
Still on for poker Thursday night, right?
Like taking candy from a baby. Life was good. The sun setting on a sweet summer's day. The smell of freshly mowed lawns. The sounds of children playing. A house across the river on the Jersey side. Beautiful wife and a baby girl. The American dream come true. Honey, I'm home. But dreams have a nasty habit of going bad when you're not looking. The sun went down with practiced bravado. Twilight crawled across the sky, laden with foreboding. Michelle, honey, anybody home? I didn't like the way the show started. They'd give me the best seat in the house, front row center.
So, one of the things I'm noticing.
What the hell?
Is how
I tried to turn to face you, actually. I remember you can't do that.
It has a nice. This game does a good job of kind of unsettling atmosphere. You know.
Something ugly had been tattooed on the wall. A map of things to come. It was a poison syringe, a magic tag full of diabolical meanings.
Hang on, really quickly. That's not the face I would make if I just saw something tattooed on my wall. Just like, well, oh, that's odd.
And that was going to be my next point. I just kind of struggled getting it out. The faces in this game are kind of campy. They're kind
yeah,
of,
they're wonderfully awful.
show.
Listen, someone's broken into my house. Call 911.
Is this the Payne residence?
Yes, someone's broken into my house. They're still here. You have to...
Good. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Who is this? Hello?
It's a wonderful game.
It's like John Woo plus.
John who?
No. It's like a mixture of John Woo, Noah, but also.
Michelle!
There's a Max Payne in the percolator.
It's coming.
Freeze! NYPD, drop it! Coming! You're gonna die!
Oh, yeah, I wasn't really...
No, please, God, no.
Oh no! Wake up! It's already dead, it doesn't matter. It's polygons. It's okay. I thought I died for a second there. And I was like, we haven't saved yet. Uh-oh.
We better not.
No, God, no, please, Michelle. Oh, baby.
Aw. I tried. Tried to be a little cheeky on the guy that murdered my wife. You ready for the best line of dialogue in the whole game? This is one of my favorite lines in the entire series. Yeah, it's right here. Beautiful.
That was 3 years ago. Everything ripped apart in a New York minute. The killer junkies had been high on a previously unknown designer drug, Valkyr, V. After the funeral, I told Alex I'd be transferring to the DEA. It took us 3 long years to get a break in the Valkyr case. Then, finally, 2 months ago, a dime dropper tipped us off that Jack Lupino, a mob boss in the Punchinello crime family, was trafficking. I went undercover, infiltrated the worst mafia family in New York.
Roscoe Street Station. Whew.
So now we're gonna get into the game proper. Like,
Kind of.
oh well.
We got a smidge of, not quite tutorials, but...
I came in from the cold and the dark. Outside the city was a cruel monster. I've been slowly working my way from the small time to the big fish, trying to get to the source of the drug. Alex and BB were my only contacts in the DEA, the only ones in this decrepit city who knew I was down here.
BB here. Something urgent has come up with Jack Lupino. You need to meet with Alex immediately at the Roscoe Street Station.
I hadn't had a face-to-face with Alex since I'd gone undercover. Outside, the mercury was falling fast. It was colder than the devil's heart, raining ice pitchforks as if the heavens were ready to fall. Everyone was running for shelter like there was no tomorrow. It didn't get any better when I got to the subway.
I like that.
The feeling hit me like a point-blank shot straight in the face. Something was not right about this.
I really love the.
My Beretta stirred nervously under my coat, but the train doors had already shut behind me, and I was in for the ride. Next stop, Roscoe Street Station, and Alex.
Sorry, I feel like I really do that one. The use of graphic novel-esque panels, though, such a brilliant
The station
idea.
was drenched in gloom. Alex was a ghost, nowhere to be seen. I'd have to look for him.
It was a very good idea, and you know, it's one of those things where it's like a really good idea that came purely from limitations.
Death was in the air at Roscoe Street. I'd have to find Alex fast.
And this is just a remarkable coincidence. Hey, Max, I need you to come meet me here. Okay? And then you're like, alright, cool. And then you get there and just like, suddenly, oh, come
All
on.
health has broken loose.
Yeah, bad things are happening.
Well, to be fair, Max Payne is
The pills would ease the pain.
The pills would ease the pain.
What pain? He hasn't. Nothing's happened to him.
Wasn't Jake supposed to take care of this?
I forgot. There goes. I'm gonna abuse
Much
the
fun taking care of the... What the?
quick save feature so much in this game.
That's what it's for on PC, you know?
Yeah. I didn't get shot. Wow, that's a surprise.
We might as well reload it. I think it holds 12.
It does. I don't want the deagle though.
Yeah, generally speaking, Beretta and when you can, dual Beretta is the best way to go.
Oh, you think so? I usually just do, I use dual Berettas when I don't want to use any other ammo.
Yo, guys. Hey, we're getting around. You hear me?
The good old strafe technique. It saved my life so many times. I know, I was hoping I could pick up the Beretta right there, or the Deagle, whatever it was that he had.
So do you just usually go single Beretta?
No, I just don't have two right now.
No. I don't know, maybe it's just, to borrow a term from TV tropes, rule of cool. We go I think that, I guess once you get, dual...
Oh, that's not a 5?
Dual, what do they call Ingrams. There's a guy to your left. Pick him up.
Hold it!
Thank you for that. I didn't hit F5.
This is the first part. Not stuck on, but like they'll get killed a time or two here. One thing I do not like about this game is you're playing very well.
Yeah, I'm.
While looking for Alex, I had ended up in the middle of a big-time crime operation.
I am just genuinely surprised I haven't been shot yet, because I'm not doing anything different than I ever do when I play this game. I'm just getting really lucky. That's all it
This
is.
game is a little bit of RNG, I think.
It is. Like, oh, I have dual Berettas now. Like, getting shot is purely dependent on whether the dudes hit you or not. Like, it sounds dumb, kind of, but that really is how it is. It's like, are they going to shoot you? Well, maybe. And I've been rolling nose constantly. I'll get them on the way around.
Okay. Yeah, because there's the dude in the bathroom back here. Yeah, he's right here. There's just one of them.
Kiss it good.
Oh, yeah, because I got to take this guy.
You saved me, man.
What's going on here?
A massacre. These armed thugs just appeared from nowhere. We need to get help. I can make the call from the control room 1 floor up. Can you take me there?
Sure, sounds good. Follow me.
Yeah. I try not to abuse it too much, but
Whenever
it's very
I
easy
the
to.
driver's seat, I'm going to be no regrets. Save.
I mean, you know, I'm here to enjoy this game, not no save. You know.
Yeah.
Home free. This way. What the hell?
It's just. That's right. I hit the button first. And then let me save really quickly because I'm also save scumming right now. Oh, that's not pain pills?
No, those are pills. Okay, before I inhaled half a glass of water, I was going to say one of the things that in this game, I was talking about one of the biggest aspects of the game.
Ah! There's my first hit. There was my second hit.
Is that there's a lot of the death animations are very inspired by hard-boiled or no coconut?
I think Hard Boiled is the famous John Woo movie with Chow Fat. I haven't seen it. I want to. It's one of those movies where it's like, oh yeah, I should definitely see this movie sometime, and I just never have.
We should do a John Woo retrospective at some point.
Yeah, sure, why
We
not?
can throw in Face/Off.
Face Off is amazing, and I will defend that movie until the day I die.
I want to give it another try. I didn't get it.
The train lit up like a Christmas tree. The power was back on.
I got it, but I wasn't like wowed by it. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I think I came at it from the wrong angle.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you came at it thinking this is going to be a horrible movie.
I don't think that's, well, maybe, but that's not what I meant. What I meant was, I came at it with the tact that it's not my usual genre, and it's more, I don't know, at the time I was going through, like, you know?
Yeah.
And,
They get kind of snobby.
Yeah. I think other than the kind of journey,
So much for being subtle.
I love that line.
what was it?
So much for being subtle. As I just barrel down. Oh,
The line is also so much for being.
what do you mean?
It's not a very subtle line. It's a pretty obvious line.
Oh god, that's gonna hit me. I thought I saw a bullet coming right at me, and I thought it was gonna hit me. My Berettas are normally a, well, I need to shoot people. There's a lot of them. Whatever. I'll just use my Berettas.
Crowd control kind of deal.
Yeah. Ooh, that's explosives right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot him now.
Are you sure? We can shoot them right now if you want.
Okay, well then.
Let's do it.
And first death.
I love the death animation in this game. It's so ridiculous. Can I? Okay, I guess I can't. I, for some reason, was remembering that I could unlock that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to give it a second shot. I think this time around I will be more receptive to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The rusty door led to an abandoned part of the station, closed off since the early 40s. Something big was going down at Roscoe Street. Maybe that's why Alex had wanted to meet me here. Maybe not. One way or the other, I was going to find out.
I'm gonna do something.
Are you going to do grenade route?
I'm gonna try. I don't entirely remember how to do it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, friendly fire is on, and it's the greatest thing ever.
It's very useful, especially when you start getting into the later part of the game where you get guys like wielding Ingrams and they'll just shred the guys in front of them, and it's very handy.
That was an example of the shotgun working, by the way. Don't expect that every time.
The shotgun in this game is very, very inconsistent.
It is my go-to gun, though.
I can't imagine that. The shotgun is not trustworthy at all. The damage. It feels weird how the damage is. Sometimes it feels like
Sometimes it feels like a 50 cal rifle. Other time it feels like a BB gun.
yeah.
And that's range regardless.
Yeah, that was what really when it but also it doesn't seem to be the ultimate determinant here.
Perfect example. About same distance. This guy took 1 shot. This guy took 3. And I mean, you may be like, oh, well, your aim was a little off. Yeah, but this game has bullet magnetism. Or not bullet magnetism, but slight auto aim. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually very forgiving with your aimer. Sometimes you'll just straight up miss when you're aiming it to do with a dot.
What the hell was that?
I don't have any grenades. You just shoot the rats, right?
I think so.
Let me show my insane PC skills here.
Well, this is a good show of how there's a lot of variance in the aim in this game. It's not like perfect 1-to-1.
There we go.
That was a lot of ammo.
It was, but I just saved, so it's okay.
I think it's up there.
Okay.
There's
I've
like
done
a
this
crack-
once, and this
there's-
was a long time ago.
There's a crack you can out of.
I'm gonna reload this anyways, so I'm just gonna try and get to it.
I don't know if you should or not anymore.
Well, I've wasted a lot of ammo,
Fair enough.
but to be fair, I just got a lot of ammo back, and I don't use the Berettas often. I spent a lot of time saying Beretta fool. I should probably save. You get multiple quick saves, so it's okay to save again. I think
I think there's 3 quick saves that it operates.
It's 2 quick saves and an auto save.
Oh, that's right.
There you are. Where are you at?
I think he's down that corridor there.
Okay, fellas, the police are on their way. New York's
There's
finest
more
are gonna
guys.
be here soon. So stick to the plan. We've got
So
our
they
own
heard all
private
the
exit
gunshots
route.
and they were
In
like,
and out, do your thing.
Jimmy must be messing around again.
You man.
trying to kill them.
The funny thing is also with the shotguns, it goes both ways. I've been sniped with a shotgun before, and it's not fun.
Well, the hypocrisy. When it works for you, you're like, oh, that's great. When it doesn't work, like, oh, this is garbage. Hey.
Where's that darn rat at?
I think. Let's just keep it rolling. If he shows up, great. If he dies.
See, look at that. That should not have been a one shotgun. Neither should that have. Look at that. 4 shots, 4 kills. That's the shotgun for you, man. When it works, it is the best gun in this game. When it doesn't, it is the worst gun in this game. It is so incredibly inconsistent, but I love it so much. There's some painkillers around here. I was trying to click the button to do this.
So this is one of
We come to you now live from the crime scene.
Who is this?
Right back at you.
This is Deputy Chief Jim Bravura from the NYPD. You are to cease your criminal activities and surrender immediately.
Sure thing, Jim. Me and the boys have been talking, and everyone's real sorry. They'll never do it again.
Who the hell is this?
Being placed at the scene of a bank robbery wouldn't have tipped the odds in my favor.
You'd think Jim Bravura, who is the chief of the NYPD, would recognize the voice of Max, somebody who had been working for him for years. Maybe.
Maybe Jim was not on his game. He was hitting the song pretty hard.
Yeah, he was hitting the V pretty hard.
The bank robber's score lay on the table. The bank robbers have been after Acer Corporation bonds. The Acer success story had recently been on every channel and on the cover of every magazine.
Nice. I may be remembering wrong, but I feel like there was one of these that you could open.
I think it's in the other one, right?
I don't know.
Is it?
The bank robbers had left their tools on the table. Judging by the detonators, the crooks had bought enough explosives to send Lady Liberty into orbit.
You know what's gonna be great is when I'm heading back out here and the rat pops out. I've used up my... I've overwritten my quick saves.
You know what's another? I think the music does a long way of, going with the unsettling atmosphere.
This whole series has great music. Though, if I had to pick one in particular, I might have to lean towards 2.
I feel like in just about any case, with the exception of maybe graphical fidelity,
Maybe.
2 is probably the best. For its time, well, I don't know.
It looks great for its time, and it still looks pretty good even now.
Hold it! Max, Jesus, you almost gave me a heart attack. I nearly shot you.
Alex, I'm glad to see you.
What the hell's going on? There are more corpses here than at the city morgue.
It's an armed robbery. A tunnel job straight to the Roscoe Bank vault through the old station wall. Is this why? This is Lupino's gig?
This is Lupino's doing? Lupino's men? Really?
You sure know how to pick a place? Can you get through?
No, it's locked. We gotta get out of here. If it's Lupino, it's... Alex? Alex!
Alex!
There was nothing I could do. He was dead. I could tell by the empty, accusing stare of his eyes.
Oh, caps lock is on. This game has a really good opening. I want to be honest, I wasn't too terribly happy with that. I took a little more damage than I would have liked.
Conversation you and I had a couple days ago, but I feel like it's worth talking about for the folks out there and maybe watching this at whatever point you watch it at now or in the future.
VODs, am I right?
I think it's really...
Let's get the hell out of
interesting that in the Max Payne
I have never seen it, by the way.
I haven't either. Ludacris is Jim Bravura.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, Max, got a new job for you. You see, while I'm out there not, I've completely lost this joke and it's gone. You know when I'm not out there boosting cars and racing with Paul Walker and Vin Diesel, I'm actually a police chief. I will say, I thoroughly enjoy Ludacris in the Fast and Furious movies. He is not what I would call a good actor, but man, for those movies, he does just fine.
That's a good save of that those painkillers. I'm pretty sure people come back the other way. You might want to top off before you head out.
Oh, that's right, it was over here.
Oh, your house is full anyway.
Yeah, that's what I always do. I try and keep 8 on me at all times, if I can help it. Part 2 really starts you out in a bad place. Like, no weapons, like, already taking damage. You can find one...
Alex had kept me relatively sane for the past 3 years. Now I didn't know how I felt. Somehow he had stumbled upon something big and ended up stepping on Jack Lupino's toes.
Alright, do you want to do the motel?
Okay.
I just did Roscoe Street. We can swap out now. I've been playing, by the way. And I'm going to let Daniel play now. Go, Daniel, go.
Alright.
I'm going to just kick it.
Lupino ran his racket of sex, drugs, and contract killings from a sleazy hotel and slum block of tenements.
Nice.
The NYPD was closing in. I could hear the sirens. Their wail was a crescendo. Lupino thought he could get us by taking Alex out and leaving me to take the fall for it. All he had gotten was my attention.
I love the hotel.
I went for the hotel first. It was a sad old thing with flickering lamps and faded colors, cheap mobster punks and tired-eyed prostitutes. I walked straight in, playing at Bogart, like I'd done 100 times before. The place was run by a couple of murdering mobsters with shark smiles. The Finito brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the pain in the butt. Pain to the max.
You're killing me. Did you make that up yourselves, or you get some wino downstairs to come up with it? Don't answer that. A rhetorical question. I get something for the boss. Lupino around?
That kind of depends on who's asking. A friend or a junk squad plan. Don't answer. It's one of them, how do you put it, rhetorical questions. Lupino ain't here, but he said bye.
Lupino wasn't in his cheap hotel. Instead, I ran into the Finito brothers. My cover had been blown, the door slammed shut behind me, and then I was dodging bullets like raindrops.
Pain in the butt. Ha-ha! Pain to the max. Junk squad pain. Got a ticket to Marble City for you.
What? This is thoroughly inelegant.
I was gonna comment about how you're gonna see it drastic. Not drastic. You're gonna see the difference in play styles now. And that wasn't supposed to be like it's about to be a huge drop in quality.
A letter on the desk caught my eye.
I've been playing this game for the last like 3 days.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time you played this was, but I was just what I was gonna be referring to is specifically
I had met Lupino only once. The gangster ran all his rackets through his right-hand man, Vinny Gagniti. Gagniti was a high-strung whiner on the verge of breaking apart, like an overamped Energizer bunny. He had the brains to run the business, but he lacked the balls, always falling short, taking his frustration out on underage addicts and call girls.
The V deal goes down at your hotel. Jack's exact words, quote, Vinny, you're in charge of this one, unquote. Rico Muerte's coming to see it through. Anything goes wrong and everybody's gonna get dead. Goes double for you. Treat this guy real good. Anything he wants, you give him. Don't screw this up or you're finito, finitos.
A V deal meant added security, locked doors, and lots of nervous thugs with itchy trigger fingers. I'd seen nothing coming in, but that didn't mean it hadn't been there. Rico Muerte was a regular Kaiser Soze, a spook story told to keep the apes in line. 313. The Finitos had scribbled Muerte's room number on the note's margin.
Right in there. They're not answering. Call the others. Tell them to come quick. Okay, but we can't wait for them.
Oh,
we
run
gotta
to the
go
door.
in now. Bosses, we're coming in.
It's Payne.
Okay, well this did not work. I kind of want to reload that because I blew a bunch of ammo.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show off that you can just do that.
Well, oh crap. Okay, that was a terrible shot.
I feel like shooting is as useful in this game as it is in 2.
Yeah,
in 3, it's broken.
I believe you mean wonderful.
Oh no, I mean that in a great way. Like, when I would find myself in a
A letter on the desk caught my eye.
Shoot dodge, shoot dodge, shoot dodge. Like, that's all I would do.
Everything all right?
Like, spin with, oh.
Virgilia, you're right now.
I never thought
They're
that
not
would be safe.
answering. Call the others. Tell them to come quick. Okay, but we can't.
Okay.
I
I wanted to get
Lupino
to this.
only one.
Okay, well we don't need to do this.
Alright.
Wait,
Go ahead and throw a
we
quick
gotta
save
go in now.
That's it.
Bosses, we're coming
Okay,
in.
and
It's Payne!
Also, one reason why I may not like the shoot dodge here as much in this game is because I primary the shotgun, and in a good shoot dodge you can maybe get 3 shots, and that's a really good shoot dodge.
most of the time
Most of
it's
the time it's slow, at least for me. The only way I've ever been able to consistently get 2 is if I start the shoot dodge already firing a shot, and I can get a second one before I land. And once you land, you're done.
yeah, you can't shoot from the ground. You have to get up.
Can you back?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's probably also the reason why it's a lot better.
Actually,
Stay down.
I may be thinking of 3.
You definitely can. I haven't played 2. Actually, no, it's
Where?
New York Minute for a long time.
Sao Paulo? Minute? I don't know. I think it's upstairs. Yeah. Okay,
No, you got the window. You left.
but there's the cutscene with the. Okay, do you hear the TV or the radio?
Yeah.
See, I thought it was this TV, but it's not. I'll look for it for one more second.
I think it's maybe the next room. I think it's where it
We'll save the ammo.
You can just walk through
Oh. Well then, never mind.
it.
Yeah, something's wrong with the bosses. Payne's there and they're not again.
Oh crap!
Well, they're dead.
They're dead. Everything's
They're
my
all
finger. Okay.
The final explosion was an exclamation point on my life.
I mean, okay. We'll pop those 2 real quick.
I remember hearing that your performance. Oh, hang on. There's an exclamation point. Your performance in the game determines how many painkillers will spawn in the cabinets. But
Oh, here it is.
In his press conference today, the mayor stated that Valkyr represents a clear danger to New York and called for drastic actions to eliminate the problem. On today's top story, the Valkyr crisis worsens with the murder of DEA Special Agent Alex Balder. Special Agent Balder had been shot repeatedly from a point-blank range. The gunman has been identified as Max Payne. The noose is sure to tighten around this fugitive criminal as more NYPD units join the search to apprehend him.
I had just gotten my 15 minutes of fame.
That's another thing I like about this game. You can kind of you hear from other people, or I guess through these sort of these radio and television broadcasts. You get an idea of what's going on, how normal people are reacting to this situation.
Hey,
Yeah. I'm trying to not die. Okay, he's dead. I heard the whoa!
Yeah, you just gotta wait.
Yep. Enemies are pretty bullet spongy in this game, so
What is the lead pipe from? I don't remember reading that, but I always have it.
I think you just have it.
I found a lead pipe in Roscoe Street Station. I figured I should take it with me, just in case I ran out of bullets. For all 30,000 guns I have on me.
thought I would hold on to it forever. It was not my new companion. The only friend I would make on this night.
I don't know if it's this chapter.
This is a
but
high
while
class
you're in the
joint here.
hotel, while you're in the hotel, has one of my favorite lines in the whole series.
Well, we've already hit some of the high ones.
Yeah, this game. What the? But the one I'm thinking of in particular is gathering evidence got a few hundred bullets back, like something like that.
I think the thing about this game is it has the best one-liners, and
2 and 3 has better
plot
dialogue. Previously,
maybe not dialogue.
lords and ladies. Lady Amelia, Marquis Valentine.
Milady.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Yeah,
My lady.
this is my favorite one.
And now, in all new episode of Lords and Ladies, brought to you in part by Acer Corporation.
Fleshed out? I don't know.
I think you hit it on the head. I kind of want to stop and do these,
Better
but
dialogue.
My lord.
yeah,
My lady, there is a
like
magic
I think the
bracelet
dialogue
that
is
Sam
better,
has brought
but
to your
Max
attention.
has.
My lord, there is.
Indeed, my lady, there is indeed. From the
I
very
would love
first
to
moment
stop
we
and
met,
listen to all these,
upon
but
that distant
since
forest
we're doing a
path, there
live
has
stream,
been
we might as well
sunlight
just
and the
keep
autumn
rolling.
leaves blazing like the colors of your hair.
But those are really cool, and I recommend when you guys are playing through, you check them out on your own. I am really
Imagine
looking
being
at.
that guy. You find Max Payne and you just kind of dive into
Lady, I beg of you, I must know.
I really
I
wish
would rather die than not know.
Yes, my lord, we should both be
I
dead.
really wish
for this
that
shame is
would
too
have
great
some
for the
effect, but
living. My lord,
what
I am.
with the movies and the TV shows that you find in Max Payne and Max Payne 2, I don't remember any Max Payne 3.
I don't think there's anything like that in particular. But there are plenty of really cool things to learn.
It provides a very interesting metatextual commentary on, and it also sometimes they'll even give like little
Piece of crap!
little. What am I trying to say here? Not allusions to the future. What is the term? It is foreshadowing. There we go. My English teacher would be distraught right now at me.
Goddamn, open my Beretta.
See, it wasn't broken. You guys are just impatient. Here, I'll just leave these two for you.
Oh, hey, big boss, what's going on, man?
We'll hit this.
Tonight, the city's fight against the nightmare drug Valkyr took a turn for the worse, as DEA Special Agent Alex Balder was found brutally slain at the Roscoe Street subway station. A suspect was seen leaving the site only moments after the shots had been fired, and the NYPD is currently in pursuit of Max Payne, a repeated felon believed to be armed and extremely dangerous. And now the weather. The worst winter storm in recorded history continues to pound the city.
You know, I had a thought. I never bothered to check the levels of the
NYPD.
audio. I really hope that it's not super bad.
Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I don't stream near as frequently as I would like, and I stream at completely different times when I do. So
Not the most consistent situation we got going here.
no, not at all. But you know,
It's these nice little touches, you know.
V-head junkies could go off without a warning.
Yes.
I had to be careful.
Get away. Get away. Get away. Oh
I think some of these things that these guys say make a return in Address Unknown. In Address Unknown, which is the Twin Peaks knockoff in Max Payne 2.
oh yeah,
The theaters are more fun than television. That line.
it's been a while, man.
I think the genesis of that line is in this game.
I really need to I imagine we plan to, but I really need to sit down and play Max Payne 2 again, and like really play it.
You know, these vending machines are great. I'm just running up to them, just touching them, and I'm getting free stuff.
Right? It's like people just kept putting money into it, and they just never bothered to press the button. Like, why is this not working?
Well, they're
there's
so-
many. There's like
I found Muerte's room.
They're so strung out on
Muerte had received a letter.
They're so strung out on D that they can't even tell anymore.
You know, Rico Muerte's anti-burglary trap didn't really work.
Our investigation had turned up nothing to link Angelo Punchinello, the head of the Punchinello family, to Valkyr. All tracks had ended with Jack Lupino. The letter in Muerte's room was signed by the Don himself. It was the first hint that the Kingpin knew what was brewing inside his syndicate.
The trouble you got into after the Chicago screw-up. The Punchinello family bailed you out. You have been waiting for a chance to pay us back. One of our trusted boys has a monkey the size of King Kong on his back. We need your special skills for backup on a major deal.
Collecting evidence had gotten old a few hundred bullets back. I was already so far past the point of no return, I couldn't even remember what it looked like when I had passed it.
Those are two really good lines.
See, then it makes me wonder about our giving it the one-liner camp kind of.
They're just two one-liners that are like one after the other. That's kind of how math works.
They're two-liners. Let me go ahead and just, because I feel like that doesn't represent me.
I mean, Max almost entirely speaks in one-liners. That's just kind of his flavor in general.
Alright. See, I'm doing a little better. I'm learning, I'm growing. Let's see.
I think I'm died.
Whoa. Well, I saw him reach for his gun.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Something had happened. Like, he reached for his gun.
There was a painkiller in the top off.
Yeah. I feel bad about that, but I saw... I feel
You're
like...
so far past the point of no return, you don't remember what it looks like you passed it, so it's okay. So what if there's a little bit of you know, murdering of the innocent? You know?
I feel... I don't know. When I go back and watch this later, it'll point out who, or if he did reach for the gun, but I didn't see the gun coming out. I don't know.
I saw him from the movie, Chicago. The musical, not the band. And it's the song Both Reach for the Gun, I think is what it's called. And it's about the defense of how Renee Zellweger didn't murder her husband, or I don't remember, it's been a long time. But
The hooker had left her diary on the table.
And it's like, both reach for the gun, both reach for the gun. And like, I didn't like that movie at all. I thought it was not great.
This is such a deeply unsettling thing.
That reminds me a lot of this anime that I watched last night.
The diary belonged to a hooker named Candy Dawn. The read would have made a vice cop blush.
Had talks with the mystery hag over the phone again. Sent her the latest one-eyed Alfred tape. As long as the hag keeps paying for the tapes, the old man could come every day for all I care.
She had a nice sideline, making secret X-rated flicks of her clients and selling them to the highest bidder. It would get her killed if her V-fix for the day didn't do it first.
Alright.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna test the levels.
Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna go ahead and gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna go. There's the junkie. I got turned around, so bear with me for a second while I. Well, it's not too bad. I can hear the levels over here. There's about a 30-second delay.
Yeah, I can't hear what you're stuff for a minute. Go ahead and fire your shot while saying
No, wait, you go get him.
That I'm going to shoot you. That's the best thing to come up with. I wanted a Max Payne one-liner, and I totally whiffed.
Okay, we could go a little louder for us, a little quieter with the game, but it's not horrible.
I'm going to shoot you.
You shot me.
There we go. That was a reference to Vinny. No.
Vinny got Vinny.
Yeah.
Also, man, these
speech strats.
Some of the pronunciations are pretty bad.
Speech strats.
The blood veins of New York.
So, let's see.
People say a Solid Snake impersonation's hard. A Max Payne impersonation's even harder.
I've not really.
The old service elevator rumbled down to the bowels of Jack Lupino's hotel.
I had a pretty alright one recently. I was like, wow, this is surprising. Wow, this is surprising.
I have a good Owen Wilson, I guess.
It was freaking crazy. Get up!
Whoa, bye. I'm jump back into the wall. What? Okay, well.
You can't shoot him, you keep jumping back into the wall! It's insane!
And that guy just walked through the corpse of his friend there.
Yeah, I'll try it. After this cutscene, but I got a pretty decent way I feel to try to get
A winter storm warning is in effect in the whole tri-state area, as both freezing rain and heavy snowfall continue. Many roadways are already closed, and people are advised to stay indoors. The severe blizzard has ravaged New York for 3 days now, with no end in sight.
We'd been snowed from the start in the Valkyr case. The forecast said there was plenty more where that had come from. But the snowbound city was on my side. Less chance of innocent bystanders getting caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, like, how I ended up doing a decent one, I want to set 0 expectations.
What? Out of the frying pan and into the fire, man.
Into the back pan.
Exhibit number 1, a newspaper.
Take vampire. Why are they always set in LA?
Wait, what? Did I go into the wrong door? Did they just like, okay, well, he's gone. Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead.
You gotta do it like in a almost kind of whisper. Oh, you didn't say it all. Your auditory really exactly.
Really?
It was freaking crazy.
Oh, that's not too bad, I guess.
Not even a single one of them. Then I got all 3 of them in the next one.
But,
A winter storm warning is in effect in the...
I think so.
it's not great.
What about when he yells, though? See?
That's hard to do. Like I said, I don't think it's good by any means. I found something that makes it better.
You know what the key to a good impression is? I'm gonna little advice for everybody in the audience, all 3 of you. It's not to be. You don't necessarily go for accuracy. That's a sucker's game. There's always going to be someone who's more accurate.
You want to match more the way that they speak, not the way that they sound.
It's style, not accuracy.
Yeah.
Like if you do a little, when you do it, it's better to do a little bit of an exaggeration than it is to do like a straight up one-to-one kind of deal.
Like, I mean, listen to any person's Christopher Walken impersonation. It's so exaggerated. I can't do a good Christopher Walken. They go really insane.
Exhibit number 1, a newspaper.
Just go insane, and they don't really try to sound like a talking. Just
A dead man tied to a chair lay on the boiler room floor.
Captain Baseball Bat Boy has an unbeatable track record in superhero death matches. But a 6-pack of root beer gets me every time.
Yeah, right? Superhero
The murder weapon was a baseball bat, now lying in a pool of drying blood next to a newspaper folded open on a Captain Baseball Bat Boy comic strip.
Here's the game theory for you. Captain Baseball Bat Boy, not a superhero.
Oh, he's a little boy.
No, but also because who's his big fan? Frankie the Bat Niagara, a mob boss.
Is his name Niagara because he cries a lot?
Take vampire movies. Why
Ah,
they LA?
they got in the head.
It works because of that.
I know. Those were some like heavy thumbs.
And what would you eat? Suck blood from penguins?
But what I was going with hey guys, what I was going with there was more the
That's a one-way door.
Okay. I I've lost the train of thought. Anyway, he's not a superhero because superheroes wouldn't get involved in death matches, and a mob boss would be more interested maybe as in a non-superhero character. Maybe he's like a.
Maybe on his cover job he just leaves like.
I'm just checking.
I'm trying to remember comic strips.
Look at that dirty plate. Peanuts.
Maybe I didn't want to say peanuts. Like, is that one?
No.
Dilbert. Maybe he just leaves Dilbert strips like his real job. Or Family Circus. There we go. Now I'm remembering them. Those still exist, don't they? Like they still make new ones, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like it's very obviously not.
It is for Dilbert.
That guy's still alive.
Greed for greed.
I feel like Dilbert is quite old. It may not be as old as I think it is, but it's at least older than I am.
Got him down.
It's not very funny anymore. So he's not dead. It was funny-ish at one point.
I really couldn't tell you what Dilbert is about.
It's about the day-to-day life of an American IT office drone. It's more like of an in-joke kind of thing. Like if you work in the IT field,
I never have, so
you're like, that's kind of funny.
I watched the IT crowd. Though.
I mean, that's almost the same thing, right?
You with the guns.
I don't know. Is it?
Don't want to piss where they are.
I don't know. I've never actually seen the IT crowd.
I've seen somebody ask, do you think that the IT crowd is the Big Bang Theory equivalent for IT people? And I don't have the answer to that because I've never worked in it. But I do like that show.
See ya!
I do like that show, and I also think that the Big Bang Theory is bad. What?
Oh man!
Wow, they shot the body that you were up against.
So that's why I run into these people. You muck things up and cause confusion.
Yeah,
A lifetime ago, this would have gone down as a narcotics arrest.
Body double.
Exactly. That's why I do. I'm not. I'm bad at the game. I'm not dumb.
I just have never really thought to do something like that. My strategy
There was a key on the table.
There's a key on the table.
I just wanted to let you all know that.
It was dirty money.
Get that cash.
The transparent cylinders glowed green, full of Valkyr.
I usually, for whatever reason, I always just break these.
It was a drug deal.
I feel okay doing that because there's shotgun ammo right there.
Yeah, and now you've got Valkyr all over you.
This level's about to get really trippy. Okay, this is the Rico Muerte.
This is Rico Muerte. This guy in the bathroom. He's in the last stall. Oh wait, I'm thinking of later. Never mind. Okay, use a baseball bat for Rico Muerte.
I was just gonna baseball bat the guy since we were in close quarters.
The amount of this fight still has bad numbers for me.
Two mad dog killers, ready to murder each other. They step into the next room, and I'm thinking, now they're gonna do it. But no. They sit down in front of a TV and solve their differences with the Kung Fu fighting video game. I tell you, kid, I was so depressed, I strangled them both with the video game cables.
Oh, Rico, you're so bad.
I am, ain't I?
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Rico Muerte, big-time hustler.
Who the hell?
It's that cop.
Muerte went for his gun.
It's that cop.
I think I went for her first.
You should talk about it. I used bullet time. He stood in one place. The bullets wouldn't hit me.
And I didn't get hit a single time. my methods are exonerated by my results.
Oh my god, there's a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to fall back. Yeah, because I usually do this. I usually take a lot of damage.
You're a Royal Bannon right here. You just rush through and get touched by no bullets. I
Alright, Candy's still there.
Are you kidding me? She was saved by the spritzer. Well, that was unfortunate. That was
There's still 2 painkillers in the bathroom.
I was trying to get her to shoot at me. This is just embarrassing for both of us. Let's just end this charade. Okay, she's dead. Well, that was incredibly embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, like, I mean, you're working with the hitboxes that the game gives you.
Man, these people really are shooting up with the...
Yeah, and you know what's really unfortunate is you're about to get your first Ingrams, which would be great to use against Rico Muerte. You just gotta beat Rico Muerte to get them.
Here we go! Oh my god! I forgot.
I love how he always has the
No!
really sucking up reload.
No! Okay.
It's all the...
He's such a spongy. You should go ahead and mention your little,
Oh, you're in a Conga video that's, 6 years old?
Are you serious?
2012, dude, I think it came out in March. Yeah. Rico Muerte Kill, I think is what it's called.
But yeah, you tried this a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eagle snipe you. Never mind. I'm gonna get mowed down. Like
this is a very This is a decently close representation to my Let's Play when I tried to fight Rico.
See, the problem is I used way too much bullet time getting here. I forgot about this fight, so I over.
Let him roll all the way down.
I think that's this one. I took damage from it.
That's what I did.
Oh, I did?
Not from the grenade.
This is a real shame.
Okay, we're getting pretty close to my territory here.
Yeah, I need to salvage some dignity here. If you pop a painkiller, does it increase your bullet time?
I don't think so.
That is a shame.
But I mean, you can't pop a painkiller because you're at full health.
Well, I was gonna say I'm gonna take a little damage when I breach the room. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. Okay. So we softened him up a little bit. We're gonna... And it did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that comes purely from killing guys.
Okay, we're gonna...
I just always have full, you know? Oh, good throw.
Good throw, but man, he is a sponge, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a bad strategy. Hit him a couple times, reload, back up, start hitting him again. Because, I mean, you can get him in a stun lock for all of the public stuff.
There we go.
Hey, no damage.
What? Seriously? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go and pop a quick saves. So I don't want to do Rico Muerte again. No.
That's not hurt.
See,
There's some painkillers over here.
Don't they?
I'm pretty sure there's some inside the controller.
Oh, yeah. I think there are. I hate this man.
He is a horrible man.
The antique switchboard was still in use. There was an old telephone switchboard in the back room of the reception area. Kind that made phone tapping child's play. It wasn't hard to picture a fat pimp sweating with headphones on, listening to his hookers talk dirty and fake orgasms over a web of party lines. The blood veins of New York. Right now, there was a different set of moans and groans going on.
Boss, Corneli, there's Max Payne. He came, started capping us. He killed him.
Are you freaking kidding me? He's just one lousy cop. You better be freaking kidding me. Whack him. What's the freaking problem? Hello? Answer me. Hello?
The word was out. A deadly virus released into the city's corrupt circulatory system. Something wicked this way comes.
You know what?
Max Payne at large.
This is the perfect. I don't want to keep harping on this, but that was the perfect example. They had the perfect Max Payne one-liners, the cheesy and somewhat flawed dialogue, and it also had the beautiful, vivid imagery.
I meant to talk about this earlier, but if for anybody who's played the console version of this game, you'll know that every chapter is split up into multiple sub-chapters. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this one right here starts a new sub-chapter for chapter 4, and I'm pretty sure it's called Max Payne at Large. But I think right after you fight the first couple of dudes in Roscoe Street Station, that's when it does the second sub-chapter of chapter 1. I'm pretty sure it's 2 per chapter. That one becomes so much for being settled. Yeah, I remember playing this game back in... Was it
2001, I think.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was 2001 when this one came out.
I remember playing this game all the way back when it was... at least when it first came out on the PlayStation, because one of my friends had it. Oh, you just walked by Payne.
No! That's frustrating.
And like doing the first couple of chapters, basically all the way up to somewhere around here, and like, but then like he went ahead and like he put out of the game, and then like loaded back up where he was, which was one of the nightmare sequences. Just throw a grenade on it.
Really?
No, don't do that.
I was gonna say, like, that sounds like a remarkably bad idea. Okay. We'll try it your way.
Here's the music.
I really wish there was a melee. Hold on. I have an idea. Don't mind me.
Ow, you killed me.
See, look, he's having a hard time here. He had Ingram. Ingrams they really tear you up.
They do, man. Ingrams are real.
They're a problem.
They're not great. Well, I mean, they're great, but...
They're great when they're on your side.
When they're used against you, they're really not great.
It's nice, though, when the guy, like I said earlier...
I think it's Payne.
No, it's a whiskey glass.
No, they all look the same, man. It's just little bottles.
I guess it's a tumbler is what it's called.
No, that's a website. You gotta go hit the source over the door.
Yeah, I'm just looking for painkillers.
I think you got them all from this area. That might be one of the ones.
Not without having to. Without having to backtrack and
you have to backtrack a lot.
an unreasonable level. Oh no, this is time.
Yeah.
Turn around, walk away, blow town. That would have been the smart thing to do. Guess I wasn't that smart. Lupino's tenement buildings were a seedy hangout for all kinds of sleaze. A liquor store, a pawn shop, a laundromat full of mobster bookies and loan sharks. The list went on. The how and why of it was a mystery to me, but they knew I was a cop. They knew I was coming, and they were going to get real trigger happy about it. I got to see Lupino's hangout all lit up. A bomb went off, turning snow into liquid gold. A pillar of fire lifted the remains of a car straight up into the air. The flames were highlighted on the hood of a black Mercedes-Benz as it coasted down the street real slow, as if the driver didn't have a worry in the world. I got a good look at the man riding shotgun. It was Vladimir, the head of the local Russian mob, the fly in Don Punchinello's soup. The ringing in my ears was the sound of a mob war being waged.
So safe to say we won't be going that way.
Another bomb exploded inside the closest slum building. It was a lucky break. The goons inside were spooked, but luck always came with a price tag. More bombs could still be ticking inside, and the cops would already be on their way. Jack Lupino's suite was on the top floor.
This is,
At least it used to be, before the explosive makeover.
Oh, there's your pawn shop. Right here.
Excellent. Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Here's your pawn. Here's your pawn shop.
I don't know, man.
This is probably the best looking part of the game, in my
Think
opinion.
of it as Christmas. The Russians always said.
Well, just like the city streets.
I like when you're chasing dog meat.
This is not pizza.
True delivery.
Look at that. That's like a turkey. That is not pizza. I was hoping I'd find that. But, you know, one of the things I was going to mention too was shout out to Sam Lake and, you know, just the whole Remedy team. For when they made this game, there was like essentially very few people. I want to say I heard it was like 11 people.
The headlines were a depressing read.
And they made such a
The headlines were screaming bloody murder. The storm was a screaming duet with the approaching prowl car sirens. It was all a scream when you were down for the count and wanted for murder.
I mean, this game, one of the things I think that really helps the longevity of 1 and 2 is the fact that it's, the PC versions of it, I think are important to because, you know, it's hard to go wrong. It's harder for a game that is on the PC with the controls, especially if you can do key binding, which this game allows you to do. Whereas the console versions of this game, which I haven't played, I can still play them and have a good time. They're a lot harder because, you live on the auto save, essentially, and each time it changes chapters when it auto saves.
See ya! I don't think anybody died there.
No, you should have thrown a grenade.
I was trying to I was debating a reload, so see ya. Okay, at least someone died.
Yeah, but
okay.
The game itself,
one
on
person.
consoles,
Really?
One and two, they have quite control, especially when you have such ease of access to the PC version nowadays.
Yeah, the Steam version of this game is good.
You have to do a little bit of troubleshooting to get the game to work. Because, like, you can just install the game, like, this computer works in Windows 10. But, like, when you start the game, there's no
audio.
There's no audio. You have to go in for a download patch, and unzip it, and put it in the game files, and run a batch file, and have it work through the thing. It's not a bad process. The whole thing takes out like 5 minutes. It's not bad, but it's something that you have to do now because the game is so old.
I wonder if they have it on GOG. Usually on GOG they eliminate the
The whole building was rigged with explosives.
Or they'll minimize it at least. Right. Oh, okay, I know what it is.
But,
I thought this was...
One of the weirder things about this game on the console, at least I feel, is the R2 button jump.
There we go.
I don't think That's the weirdest jump button I've ever seen.
I don't remember what it was. I first played it on I guess I came late to Max Payne. I came around the time of Max Payne 3.
I mean, when I finally got to sit down and own these games and play them myself in 2012, but I mean, I first played them when I first came out.
You know, that's not uncommon. That game did not do nearly as well as it should have, and I think that's part of the reason why it took so long to get Max Payne 3.
Yeah, well, and Rockstar bought the rights to Max Payne.
Oh my god, seriously? That is irritating.
That's a good one for the shotgun.
See ya, boy! You better, it's a shot off. Okay. Oh, this is what I reference all the time. This song. It's so 80s. It reminds me of an 80s action movie. Yeah. That guy has Ingram on. Their enemies are
A beaten-up phone in the entrance hall was ringing. It could have been just a junkie in need of a fix, but it turned out to be something more sinister than that.
Am I speaking to Mr. Payne?
Who wants to know?
My name is Alfred Woden. You must hurry. The police are on their way.
Tell me something I don't know.
They know you're there.
How? And what's it to you?
I will contact you again.
The cops arrived, sirens singing in the off-key harmony of a manic-depressive choir. I had a few minutes while the SWAT team would go through their usual routine. By the time they busted in, I needed to be long gone.
Max Payne, this is Deputy Chief Jim Bravura from the NYPD. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands above your head.
You know, I feel like WODEM was not traditionally spoken. Like Woden.
It is Woden, right?
That is opposite.
I'm pretty sure he said Woden.
I was half paying attention.
Alright, I got my lead pipe.
Someone had left there was a key on the shelf. Suddenly it all made sense. The bombs, the Russian mob boss making an appearance in person. Gagniti was his usual self. All talk and no walk.
After our hit, the Russian has only a couple of guns left, and they can be bought. There's no freaking way he has the guts to try anything after that.
As it turned out, the Russian had plenty of guts. One thing you could count on, you push a man too far, and sooner or later he'd start pushing back.
He purses his lips. Sam like, oh, that's the cop. I wonder if you can shoot them. Probably not.
Try it.
No, you can't. Well, okay.
Try and smack him with the lead pipe.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you, police.
I gotta live by. Okay. Probably should have a real gun soon.
Bad idea.
Real guns TM. Okay,
You gotta use the keyboard.
Hey, yeah!
Hey, yeah! It sounds like he's saying hi. He's like, hey, yeah!
Hey, yeah.
Great song. Not a great wedding song.
Oh, wow. I thought you were gonna kill you.
Nah, fam. This is one of the parts of the game I remember best, so I was ready for that. More V or super heroine.
Yes, the classic superhero.
I mean, that's essentially what it is, right?
Well, no, superhero is marijuana.
According to House Republicans and Jeff Sessions, it is, I guess.
I don't want to make this political.
Yeah, we can. I agree with that statement.
I started it. I just wanted to make that joke because I thought it was ridiculous.
I always do that.
Yeah, it looks so goofy. I do that when it's very obviously not something goofy. Like that. That was kind of
Okay.
In actually,
I feel like you can.
maybe not.
Maybe it was 3?
I imagine you can dual wield in 3.
You can dual wield just
dual wield any one-handed weapon.
Yeah, that makes for some weird combos. Like you could have like a revolver.
A Mag-10 and a snout.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. See, starting to not need painkillers. The level of play is picked up.
About time.
Shit, fallen angels. I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was 100% going to die.
Oh, I also love the fear that gives men wings line too. That's a really good one. I don't know about angels, but it's fear that gives men wings.
This is essentially the let's go.
Bombs had destroyed all the stairs up to Lupino's office.
Right.
The alternate route led there by way of adjoining rooftops.
Maybe it's because it's the part of the game that's played the most, but I feel like part 1.
It's never been this cold. Never ever. It's like the sky's falling. Yes, sir.
I mean,
it's the end of the world as we know it. And I don't feel fine. I don't feel anything. Not a thing. I'm freezing my butt off.
You know what I just realized? We never got grenade rad.
No, we didn't.
To get to the roof, I'd need to get to the elevator through the locked door up ahead.
Smack my phone on the camera. The desk watch.
Pizza delivery.
Never seen you before. Buzz off, Joker.
Pizza time. Have you seen that meme? It's from the original Spider-Man.
Okay, it was from Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
You said pizza time. That's the first thing I thought of is when you go to the place. He's like, you're late.
That was what is her name?
I don't know.
Zoe Deschanel's sister.
Yeah, it's Emily Deschanel.
There you go. She's the.
I just now realized that was her.
She's the receptionist.
I pictured her perfectly in my head from that scene, and you saying, "Oh, quick," made me be like, "Oh, that was what did it." Not watching that movie 1,000 times as a kid.
I'm gonna drop a hot take here. I'm gonna drop a hot take.
Okay.
Okay. Spider-Man Homecoming. What is going on?
Yeah,
I didn't shoot him though.
Okay, what about Spider-Man Homecoming?
Sorry, dude. I didn't want to do it. And he's just like, whatever, dude. I'm tripping out here. I can't. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, Spider-Man Homecoming. Not the best Spider-Man movie. I'm not gonna say it's bad.
Oh, I love Spider-Man Homecoming, but I wouldn't say it's the best.
No, don't shoot.
You know the clowns at the laundry?
Me?
No. You're no good to me then.
What? No, the laundry, yeah. I know him, yeah.
Get me in there.
Okay.
The original with Tobey Maguire.
I would say 2-1 Homecoming.
Oh, where did I go?
He's following you.
Okay. See, I feel like there's one game, this one Max Payne game where you have to see, and the hell of it was that these guys were the guys that shot me. I didn't shoot him. Cut back to the footage of me shooting him, and I didn't even realize.
Okay, so there was the hole in the first area of 1-2, of chapter 2, rather, part 1. And you have to evade a grenade that comes back in the hole. And then Growl will come out. Objective will pop and say,
There we go. Game saved.
You know what one of the Ingram rooms is?
Clearing rooms full of enemies?
Yes, I was going to say specifically the Japanese.
It's me. Open up. Let me in, quick.
Not so fast. The password. John who?
Come on.
no. Okay, John, whoa.
All right. Come right in.
It's a trap!
Speaking of John Woo. There we go. No funny business.
You know what I learned the other day?
What?
While I was reinstalling both of my games. You know the
It was dirty
first
money.
in Max Payne 2?
Yeah.
You can shoot them right off the bat and actually be like, I knew you were setting me up with this guy.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, I shocked you just to see what happens.
What?
I was just messing around with the game because I just reinstalled it. Yeah, you can do that really. And every time I do that game, I just set the traffic.
Really works for the homage, the whole, not homage, the whole conceit that Max Payne is a rogue cop. Max Payne, I think, yeah, I have to say, Max Payne is one of my favorite game characters all time. I'd throw him up there with Solid Snake.
You just really enjoy complex characters.
I guess I've got a type.
I remember one of the elevators opening the other way.
See, now we're back in like the.
We're in the adjacent.
Yeah, it's not exactly the hotel. This is an homage to what's it called? Pulp Fiction. Yeah, there was a, yeah, that was an Ingram right there. I just got that. I was so busy trying to remember what it was, what the homage was to, that I almost got shot by him.
Nice. I've never really paid attention.
I should have shot him with Ingram for full symmetry, but oh well.
New York City is in crisis tonight, with reports of Valkyr-related gang war in the streets of the Bronx. Apparently, Max Payne, wanted for questioning in connection with the slaying of a DEA special agent earlier tonight, is waging a one-man war against his former partners in crime. Among the listed casualties so far are notorious mafia members Joey and Virgilio Finito, as well as Rico Muerte, himself a fugitive from the law, and a suspect for several murders in the Chicago area. The NYPD has been placed on full alert. A citywide APB has been put out on Max Payne. Deputy Chief Jim Bravura has promised to take whatever steps necessary to bring him to justice. What those steps may be remains to be seen. For NYCNN TV News, this is Kira Silver.
So, I don't know. I one thing that I would like if I could have like a something of a nitpick in this game, I'd like to know what the reaction of the people are to, or if they even care at all about like this explosion of violence.
I don't want to say dystopian.
Neil, that's what you're going to say. Oh my god.
That's where I always end up being. Flamingo, but someone who looks the part down to the finest detail.
Here, hold on.
Except that he's
this is addressable.
I'm hiding in the shadows, watching it all unfold. The flamingo speaks. He can speak here. It says,
mirrors are more fun than television.
That's
mirrors are more fun than television.
Somehow I know this. Just don't ask me.
But like you really want to see the world through Max Payne's eyes, which is always
incredibly jaded.
Yeah, and he's always, you know, like I said, in the underdog thing. So like, but my point being though is, I feel like most of the people, even still, they like, you know, let's just say you have a normal New Yorker family watching the news, and it's like, oh, you know, Max Payne wanted to question
red, blue, or green. It's always red or blue in the movies. It's all green. No, not the green.
They just go back to their business. I love this part right here, though. This is a nice little
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, that's a nice little piece of cake to throw in there.
Just leaving out cold drinks. I mean, they're cold anyway because it's like a freaking blizzard going on.
Yeah. Well, the mercury is falling fast.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Meanwhile, he's like, Whoa. John Woo.
John who?
That was what? They keep coming out and I keep looking away and they pop up right from where I stopped looking. Okay.
I think they came to you.
Okay, we're
I'm
here.
reminded of the platforming up the Acer building, and I don't look forward to that.
They cut the platforming way back, starting in 2, and that was a phenomenally good decision. Not that. I guess I better get it out of my system now.
What the hell are you standing around here for? They're bombing us. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. What are you doing?
Vinny Gagnini is a great character, and I mean that because he's so pathetic and terrible.
I'm debating about throwing out a bit of a spoiler too.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that these games are so old that spoiler rules are not in effect anymore.
Okay, Vinny comes back.
Vinny got needy. Just the man I've been killing to see.
Payne? Freaking fat! I knew from day one there was something screwy about you. What do you think you're doing? You're a freaking cop. You ain't got squad on us. You can't just come in here waving your piece like it meant something. Yeah! Oh my God! Oh God, you shot me! Ah! You're dead, Payne! And what the hell are you waiting for, you apes? Kill him! Kill him!
With pleasure, boss.
Gagnini bailed. I made like Chow Yun Fat.
But the good thing about Vinny Gagnini is that instead of being wow, I got wrecked.
Yeah, don't forget to do those painkillers outside the thing.
Where are they?
By the door.
This one?
No, like on the table by the door. Around. You might have already done. Oh, you already did it. Okay. They were. I looked over and you were currently in the process of being healed. So I thought you had moves that you had.
It's a nice inversion of like the monster tough guy thing. And instead of being the scary guy, he's this weaselly, wimpy dude. See, and he's like ah. But it does a good job of ramping up like. That's what it was?
No, he's a very, at least in Harry Potter, he's very.
A crumpled letter lay on Gagnini's desk.
And Harry Potter fans, and he's like, oh, no, 12 years.
12 years of that.
Yeah. Someone needs to make that. Get the poster to 12 years of slave and put one camera on it. And then have it say 12 years of rat.
The letter was addressed to Don Punchinello, but Vinny had never had the nerve to finish it.
Jack's gone voodoo. Just the other night, he shot Dino because he wanted to see what his brains looked like splattered on the wall. He's a freaking mad dog. We're running out of men and business fast.
Gagnini had been living in mortal fear of his boss. Jack Lupino was a psycho.
Alright, let's keep it rolling. Somewhere. There we go. Yeah, here's where he was like, oh my God!
Vinny Gagnini was running scared.
He hasn't gone very far.
He could run, but with a bullet in his stomach like a broken bottle of Tabasco, he was quickly running out of time. He knew where his boss was, and I wanted to square things up with Jack Lupino. Gagnini would be moving fast. I don't know about angels, but it's fear that gives men wings.
And there's your chapter title.
There you go. Very nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, you don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just Max Payne, the game of one-liners.
It really is. Yeah, they love it.
And I think that's really the harmonization point. It's probably not what I'm trying to say, but the point of harmony for both like the noir influences and like the action movie influences, you know? In both of those genres you have like the jaded hero that throws out the killer one-liner. I couldn't even do that right now.
Gagnini hitched a ride.
He was
to catch him, I'd have to follow his lead.
Several bullet wounds. Okay.
Police brutality. Police brutality. Police brutality.
you want to step in? I've been at the wheel for a while.
This was my second train ride of the night. The way it started didn't promise anything better than the last one.
I've been playing this game for the last couple of days. It's
Tearing
no
at my
problem.
face like sandpaper and razors. Ice hard and slick under my hands and feet.
I like that picture too.
Somewhere in the background, the wail of sirens. The city howling after me.
There was like a comic version of this game. I would totally buy it.
New York sped by and fast forward. Dark rooftop water towers and a dead forest of antennas and chimneys, all a blur.
Yeah. Well, you have to buy it in installments. It's the
When the train he was riding slowed down,
Great White Max
Cogniti made his move.
You know, pour one out for the legacy of Rockstar.
Pour one out for the single-player DLC for GTA 5, man. I was so excited for that. I love GTA 5.
I remember hearing around like 2013, 2014, like they had started recording for it because a lot of the VAs they posted about it on their social media. I think. Huh. Look at that van.
He had a shotgun earlier. Now he has a deagle.
He's having to downsize. He's going back to, he's cutting it back to just the pistol.
Probably get a quick save a little later. Well, no, there's a guy up here.
You know, I just realized something.
What's up?
I guess this live stream, not even Let's Play, but this live stream is going to be riddled with furious clicking.
I don't think we'll pick up the clicking. They'll pick up that thing. They've been shooting at me from, I think, across the way.
NYPD, you on the roof. Drop your weapon and lie down. I repeat, drop your weapon and
It's Payne!
I feel like
down the stairs! Shoot
I
the
feel
bastard!
like this is a reference to this, but I may be wrong. But I feel like it is because there's a shot very similar to this, and a staircase exactly like this. This right here. At times.
I've never seen that.
Good movie. There was only one guy. Are you serious?
You're gonna have to shoot that one. Or not. Or not at all.
Not with my trusty shotgun.
See, this is good that we have very different play styles because I leave you with plenty of shotgun ammo.
And I get your Berettas right back up.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know, I just like the idea. I love dual wielding in games. Like, give me any game you can dual wield, I will do it. Skyrim, Knights of the Old Republic, Max Payne. I just think it's cool.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. Oh man, I've been playing through the latest Wolfenstein. It is very good.
Is it?
I hope it wins some awards. Although it may be
I
just
think
about the time.
I think it. No, the war season's over.
Oh really?
January, dude. I think it won at least one. Well, it depends on where you go.
Well, speaking of rough-voiced, complicated protagonists, my friend Oscar. There's another one. But as much as I like Voskowitz, wait, go up to the poop and jump. I feel like if Max Payne got a good start, he could probably do better.
I didn't know about that. What's a Beretta doing in a basketball hoop?
It's the Bronx, man.
We didn't have any balls, so we used a gun instead.
Well, look at how much ammo is lying around here. I would not be surprised.
Alright, there's gonna be a guy right here.
This is an annoying second.
Start that because I took a shot.
One of the first, well, not one of the first, I guess. We've had a couple sites in the past when I played
If we don't take this guy out over here now, he'll come up in a minute.
Pain in the butt.
Pain in the butt, pain in the max. Pain in the butt max.
There's a painkiller down in that bottom level.
Really?
Yeah. There's a gun.
Oh wow, look at him.
And there's a painkiller. And to the left now. It's in the other box that you So this is the only box that you have in there.
Set caps lock, I think. Did not know you could go down here.
I know because I've spent far too much time in this one section the first time I played it.
That's just really, if anything, security. Make sure I don't get shot. Because even if you're standing still, it feels like shoot dodge works pretty well.
You know,
or bullet time rather.
One thing that I've noticed about Max Payne 2 that I don't think I see here is the more you kill in bullet time, the more time slows down.
Really?
What the suck? So like you can get to a point where essentially you can kill people.
Hey.
Yeah, they're together.
I knew there was. I just wasn't expecting him to.
But you can essentially like if let's say there's a group of like 5 guys in the room.
Oh yeah, 5 guys.
Okay, I'm about to drop another hot take. Alright, 5 guys, overrated. Real burgers. I don't know if they do. In my mind, it's a hot take. It's more of a hot take. The 5 guys is good, but it's way overpriced. Whenever I go there, I always drop way more money than I want to. I'd say go somewhere like Smash Burger or something.
I've never been to Smash Burger. Ow! Really?
There's one not too far from here.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't think a fall like that would hurt. I keep doing it.
Although, to be honest, I feel like I still prefer In-N-Out to both of those. But that's a highly subjective.
Okay.
I like how when you aim with the baseball bat, it's just how silly it looks. You're just like looking around, flailing.
Oops. I forgot that the number pad did something. Not the number pad, but the
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed.
The numbers, Mason.
That was
a questionable bullet time.
Well, I mean, it worked out. So I mean, as I said the one time, it worked. Don't question my method, or something to that effect. Oh, I'm surprised you didn't die there. Look at that face. Look at that agonized face.
Ah, you killed me.
I mean, to be fair, you did fall and probably blew not in like a basketball kind of way.
Bally. He died instantaneously from that Ingram.
You've had enough of that, and you're like, I'm done with these.
It's just a nice, convenient way to do it.
You're gonna die, dude.
I just wanted to. I actually wanted to do this.
Pizza.
Pizza time. Oh, playing around with killing Max is sometimes fun.
Max Payne has nowhere left to go. We are very close to capturing him. You'll get a full statement then. Right now, I've got better things to do, ma'am.
That was Deputy Chief Jim Rivera from the NYPD with no further comment at this time.
Apart from his suspicious food habits, I figured Bravura to be one of the good guys. Fate had just dropped us on different sides in this. But when it came to capturing me, he was way out of his league. I had already ditched the cops a couple of rooftops back. For now.
He's like very, he's very, not arrogant, but he's very confident. He's like, come on, let's get serious.
He's coming! I can hear him! Ready?
I love that guy so much. We're gonna get him! Come on!
Now, this is another section where they throw a grenade up here.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get going.
I like their little crab bar they got going over there.
Oh, that was F6.
I love how steady he did with the whole nose. I don't think that was Actually,
yeah, well, look at that. I got some ammo back.
You got a good amount of it.
Yeah, we're only missing 78 now. And I don't use the Ingrams, really. I'm using them now because it's a little convenient, too. See, because why use the Ingrams when you got that?
There's a, yeah. Pain in the butt.
That was an example of me doing one thing and trying to do another.
You're going with standard features. You accept the range. We've got a max Payne 2 style, where she does bullet timer on 7
I think
bullets.
that was interesting, the death toll there.
Yeah. You know what this sequence reminds me of?
What's that?
That's that thing in, or that time in New Hope when Han Solo charges into a room full of armed guys and they're all like, oh yeah, you.
Where's that coming from?
That's this guy. See, he's gonna throw it. You been damaged by the.
I've been damaged by the grenade smacking me. It's okay, we're gonna get this. I don't like that.
You're having a hard time here.
I am. See, that's what I've been trying to do this whole time. It works. Oh, here we go. Here's the boss fight.
Oh, big goddammit! Payne! I'll kill you, you
I love
lousy
how
freaking...
the first shot, he always just shoots the floor. Hey! Ingrams everywhere.
You're not. This is not a fight you can do with a shotgun.
I've done it many times. Don't question my methods. I died from the fall.
Don't question our methods.
Oh god! He's got a sawn off too. We're okay. I wish you could turn it off too while you do it.
Yeah, well, in Max Payne 2, the shoot dodge is purely just a dodge. You have to
Alright, we just got, I think, Gagnity left. Let's take some bird.
What the heck? He's the least killed guy ever.
Gagniti ran out of steam in a dead-end alley with steam boiling out of the sewer grates like all the fires of hell were burning high beneath us. It was shakedown time. Where's Lupino?
Screw you!
Bad start, Vinny.
Ah! Police brutality!
I rate pretty high on that.
You can't just hurt me in cold blood?
Just keep telling yourself that. Listen good, Candyman. I'm not gonna be anybody's fall guy. I want to know where your boss is hiding. There was no glory in this. I hadn't asked for this crap. Trouble had come to me in big dark swarms. The good and the just were like gold dust in the city. I had no illusions. I was not one of them. I was no hero. Just me and the gun and the crook. My options had decreased to a singular course.
tell you. Just don't hurt me no more. Lupino's at Ragnarok, the nightclub. Book me. Take me in the whole minute to freaking jail. Just don't hurt me.
Your rights will be ready at your funeral.
That would be an interesting thing. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. As the casket's being lowered.
You have the right to remain silent.
Ragnarok was Lupino's private nightclub, a den of drugs built into an old theater. I knew what waited inside. V-head junkies ready to explode in random acts of senseless violence. And Lupino's goon squad, the worst stone-cold killers this side of hell.
Oh, this is Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Wow, weird.
Ragnarok was as inviting as a headache, flickering and flashing to a machine gun beat. The belly of the nightclub was a gothic theme park that began with bondage games and led to the nasty stuff from there. As subtle with its dark message as a cop-killer bullet through the heart. Like father, like son. Just like Jack Lupino.
Oh, hey, look, it's Ragnarok.
So, speaking of Ragnarok, I'm gonna hit you with another hot take. Ragnarok. Best superhero movie of the year.
Oh, 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Maybe 2018, I don't know, we'll see.
I just really enjoyed that movie.
It was a very good movie.
The book had never been a bestseller. Given the setting, I was surprised to find that somebody had been passing time reading. The paperback was entitled, The Age of Murder and Storm. The blurb on the back mentioned Norse mythos and Ragnarok, the end of a Viking world with a terrible winter that covered the earth in ice, when vile crimes were rampant and all humanity lost. I could see how somebody impressionable might get it into their head that we were at the end of time. I was also beginning to see what the nightclub and its owner were all about.
They're all about Payne.
There he is.
Oh, that's a grenade.
That hurt a lot.
Yeah, you might want to. Okay. Just like that you're okay.
It's Payne.
So you don't want to take. I think if you take a hit, right?
No, it just. I mean, it does in the sense that you're taking the damage that you're currently healing.
I thought. Okay.
Door, please.
That's the bad angle. Max, that's not Max Payne anymore. Max Payne's working on Max Payne. We're still pretty angry, Max Payne.
Hey, yeah.
There are guys, and I don't know where they're at.
There's one guy, okay, up and to the right. I feel like there's another guy at ground level, but I'm not seeing him. See, okay,
Sometimes. Loretta's are nice sometimes.
Loretta's are more fun than television.
Well, that's probably true.
Hold it.
I mean, it's definitely a TV show. It's a I've been doing a little bit of a rewatch of Community lately. It's a really good show. I really like it.
Oh!
I was well. I didn't appreciate it enough at first when it was on. Okay, there's a lot of guys here. I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have.
Oh no.
But yeah, these that was a lot of bullet time.
It was. I just wanted to not get shot. Since I have 4 right now.
Yeah, but it's called Amaretto. The ammo for the Ingrams goes fast.
more so just an excuse to kind of get a little bit of ammo for other stuff back without using them anymore.
That's fair.
Because I don't use the engrams like at all. I'll probably use them on Jack Lapino.
Books on the occult had been piled on the table. The room was stacked with light reading, such as Necronomicon, Witchcraft, and Paradise Lost. Old exotic titles like Malleus Maleficarum and De Umbrarum Reini Novum Portus. Books with pentagrams on their covers, all dealing with the occult and the infernal. Lying between stacks of horror videos and a couple of Ouija boards. The only thing I could take seriously was the thought of Lupino taking it seriously. He had been spending a lot of time getting intimate with the guy downstairs.
Okay. Not quite. More like Alice Cooper.
Oh, hi, Max Payne. What's new with you?
You're tearing me apart, Lupino!
Anyway, Mona, how's your sex life?
You know, since we're doing an impromptu year, a bunch of impromptu year kind of stuff, I feel like the disaster artist should get some consideration for best movie. I don't know if it is best movie, but I think it deserves at least a look.
I wouldn't say best film of 2017 because there were stellar films in 2017.
My favorite of 2017. It's hard for me. It's gonna be either The Last Jedi, which again is a somewhat controversial opinion, and Baby Driver. Those two.
Baby Driver was just really good.
In terms of just enjoying myself at the movie theater, bar none, those were far the best. Just on the sheer like enjoyment level, maybe Baby Driver takes it. I don't know. It's just such a great movie. What else came out this year?
Thor Ragnarok. I don't know, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I haven't seen either.
There's also that 3 Billboards movie.
I heard that's really good. We saw Shape of Water last night. That technically is a 2017 movie.
That's pretty good.
Have you noticed there's a lot of movies recently that are releasing like at the end of the year, but like wide release this year?
I think that's a fairly common strategy for like
indie films.
Yep, indie and prestige movies, and especially indie prestige movies.
That's a prestige.
I don't think there was an indie director anymore.
I don't think he was, but you just kept using the word prestige.
Like what's it called? What was that movie? Insomnia.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's got Al Pacino and Robin Williams in that movie. It's really good.
With Al Pacino.
Anyway, so I really.
Oh, what? That guy goes to business. Alright.
I really like him. I think my two favorites. It's one of my favorites of Christopher Nolan. Speaking of Christopher Nolan, I love Dunkirk, but it didn't wow me.
That's another 2017 movie.
Yeah.
That's also normally up there for. Ah, he still shot me. He shot me too.
One of my problems with it is everybody in the movie looks the same.
What about One Direction?
Honestly, he was not bad in that movie. Like, I wouldn't think off the top of my head notice he was there to think about him. You know what? All credit to him. You know.
I honestly didn't know that anybody from One Direction was in that movie until someone was like, "Oh yeah, that guy from One Direction." Like, which one?
I'm pretty sure that was me. We were having a conversation.
Yeah, I was like, cool. What? I don't know what any of the guys from One Direction look like. If you show me a picture of them and they're like, "This is One Direction," I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, that looks like One Direction." But like, if you just ask me to picture them, I picture generic curly brown hair looking guy, generic short crop black hair looking guy, maybe a blonde looking guy.
See the generic brown haired guy? That's essentially.
That's Taylor Swift X, right?
That's essentially every character in Dunkirk.
I don't know. I think one of them.
Billy Murphy and what's it? Tom Hardy. And I guess old people, but amongst like the military people, or like in the grunts of the military, they all go corrupted.
Dang it, I'm just
Maybe I
gonna...
should try that movie.
I've never seen it, so...
I saw it on 70 millimeters, so I feel like I should have had a really good,
That guy just
look
looked
at how
down.
it looks. Your hand is not grabbing the pump. Okay, so far so good. Again, not grabbing the pump. I think you're good. I mean, there's another guy, but you're good too.
I was trying to do that again to move it to where it would show him, like the gun, what you're talking about, while he's not grabbing the pump. Look at that pulling room again. Oh, I know what's here.
Hold it! Hold it!
You know what?
Dang it! I missed it!
I missed him so many times!
Hold it!
He didn't hold it. He must have really had to go.
There was nothing I could do. I told him to hold it, and he escaped.
Well, you did all you could, son. No one can blame you. Alright, did the platform for the day. Ooh. 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 That was just a lot of bad aiming on my part.
Why are you worried about that?
It's I sucked at aiming just then, but I took no damage, so tip for tap.
Oh my god, look at how much damage he did. So, I think I also remember hearing somewhere that Max Payne has less health than a lot of enemies. And I guess it's somewhat made up for by the fact that he has, bullet time, and he's obviously controlled by the player.
Look at that. Looks like there's 4 over there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're showing me this with a guy right below me. We're gonna get him in style.
Too bad that guy couldn't have softened his blow there.
Oh, well, there he goes.
Look at his
Yeah. Also, I just sat here without bullet time and none of them touched me.
Alright, to be fair, none of them have the angle. They all...
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh my gosh, look at that. It looks like some kind of sort of disgusting...
And how many guys is this? 4?
Like sort of Resident Evil.
Waiting.
Go get that, go touch that guitar and make it make sound. Step on it. I think you can do the drum, the hi-hat thing on the drums.
Really? I guess he wasn't a fan of jazz. Oh, really?
Wait, there's a painkiller back there.
A painkiller, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it
He'll
softens
reduce
the
the
blow.
pain. There's 4 up there. All the way up there. It's quite a jog, though. We're about to lose all of these anyways. And there's like 5 or 6 in the fight. I do this every time. You don't have to go down here to do this. You can just run along the catwalk and go straight up here.
Okay, just rocking out with those Ingrams, man. No concept of ammo conservation. Someone just died.
Yeah, I think he fell. You alright, buddy? Looks like something fell on you. I guess he just shot like any support he had out from under him.
He was just like nervous, just shooting his
The support movie was standing on.
Ah, this thing makes me nervous. I don't like it. There we go.
You know, I think you go through the section.
I pressed the wrong button here.
Nice.
I had a moment to think about my life, and then it was gone.
Again, you did not stop me.
I had another moment to think about my life.
Try again. But there's this,
Yeah.
I think you go here again in Max Payne 2.
Yeah, this is Ramona's Funhouse, isn't it?
I don't think so. Maybe? I don't remember. I thought it was somewhere else.
The backstage area led to Lupino's inner sanctum. The hot air inside was like an invisible wall, thick with incense and something else, a sickly sweet smell that made you gag. This was the rotten core of the Big Apple. Lupino lurked somewhere ahead, like a spider at the center of his web, waiting. The vapors in the air started to make my head swim. Torn pieces of a letter lay scattered on the sofa.
Sort of Silent Hilly kind of feel that I was talking about earlier.
Punchinello had threatened Lupino in writing. The note had been torn to pieces, bloody fingerprints all over them.
Don't want you to think that one of my boys is not playing with a full deck. Shape up, Jack. We are running a business here. I'd hate to send the trio to strong-arm you.
The trio were the Don's notorious henchmen. It was obvious that Lupino hadn't been intimidated by the threat.
Looks like he's just like casually like looking.
Lupino's notes covered the table. Jack Lupino was crazy, all right. The table was scattered with notes of demented arcane nonsense written in rusty blood. A mishmash list of demons, devils, and dark gods evoked.
Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Baphomet, Lucifer, Loki, Cthulhu, Lilith, Hela, blood given
Hela, she was in Thor Ragnarok.
He was after that old Faustian deal, your soul for power and fortune. Just sign on the dotted line with your blood.
She's almost in her 50s, so she
is
Lupino's
aged well.
notebook.
That's good for her.
Jack Lupino was crazy, all right.
mythic wolves let loose to devour the sun and the moon. Lupino is the wolf. I'm
This is
Mr.
another
Beast,
person that looks really
the big bad Fenris wolf.
Yeah.
I'm the end of the world man, wearing the flesh of fallen angels.
Yeah, Ragnarok maybe one of
After Y2K, the end of the world had become a cliche.
It's not bad,
but it was I to talk. A brooding underdog avenger alone against an empire of evil, out to right a grave injustice. Everything was subjective. There were only personal apocalypses. Nothing is a cliche when it's happening to you.
Nothing's a cliche.
And the pedestal.
The whole bit, everything is subjective. Like the whole text. Shout out to James McCaffrey.
The flesh of fallen angels! Come to me all! Astaroth, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Baphomet, Lucifer, Loki, Satan, Cthulhu, Lilith, Hela! Blood to you all!
Sam Lake is such a talented writer. I don't know. But I mean, after this, I'm probably skipping a lot of things in between, but the major things he's done outside of his Alan Wake and Mockingbird. Well, yeah, I mean outside of Max Payne.
He also did, I think he was actually involved in the making of a Max Payne comic.
Yes, he helped co-write. It was him and Sam Hauser. But Sam Hauser, who I think wrote Max Payne 3, Sam Hauser, who I think wrote Max Payne 3, and I think he also wrote a lot of the high Rockstar games. He's no longer with Rockstar. Yep. They've made some weird decisions of late.
Yeah, I'm not excited for Red Dead.
Me neither, man. And there's a few of us. There are a few of us who are not excited for Red Dead 2, which is a damn shame because I love Red Dead Revolver, and Red Dead Redemption is one of the greatest games from the last generation. But I just cannot in good conscience say that I am looking forward to Red Dead 2. First of all, because it's not Red Dead 2, it's Red Dead 3, and that just frustrates me to no end.
I think part of the frustration for me is like how DLC has been handled.
Yeah, there will be microtransactions in it. That's been confirmed.
Yeah, they kind of.
don't know. I'm not really into the microtransaction model of gameplay. I mean, that's not exactly the controversial thing to play, but I don't want to sound like Mr. Apocalypse over here, but I think that it's possible that we can, if it's not resolved, we could have we could go through another sort of video.
Oh, people have been expecting it to happen any time now.
I hope it does. I hope it's something that I'm just overreacting to. But it just seems like, I don't know, it just seems like a bad time. In terms of the direction a lot of games are going for games. It's getting to the point where they're filling the goods that play. People talk about piracy and stuff, but I think in terms of profitability, these gaming studios are making more money. So it's a little difficult for me to swallow this whole line that video game prices being too low or what's driving this.
I mean, to be fair, prices for video games just basically they haven't changed in decades.
Right. And that's why I think where this is coming from. But at the same time, we're still seeing like massive profits for these companies. So it's hard for me to.
Well, that's I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here, but I mean part of the reason for that is because of things like DLC. Microtransactions have been a pretty massive part of that as well. And it's not me like agreeing with those practices, it's just me saying that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. I like DLC when it's like single player. But I'm if it's a good single player DLC, I really don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'll throw some extra money to support a game that I really liked if it's just more content.
I'm not so wild about what are they called?
I had known there'd have to be a catch in it somewhere, and this one was the Empire State Building of catches. Lupino was pumped up and dying to go 15 rounds with a mutant alligator. And then he started this spooky monkey talk, straight from a bad dream. Mine.
I have tasted the flesh of fallen angels. I've tasted the devil's green blood. It runs in my veins. I've seen beyond the world of skin, the architecture of blood and bow and arrow. Death is coming! She is coming. And hell follows with her. This is the twilight winter. I am ready to be her son. Her time is now. And all who stand in her way must die. Die! You'll die! You'll die! Now! Oh, die! No!
Ow! I mean, I'm kind of just going.
Okay, never mind.
I'm just kind of going like all out.
No, he's not.
Because we're about to lose everything here, so might as well just use what we have.
Going out guns blazing.
Exactly. There we go.
Finally went down. I wanted to make real sure he'd stay that way. He was a bad monster. Turned them into friggin' zombie demons from outer space.
I think he's dead already.
Huh? And that's when it happened.
But dead or not, you've got the wrong guy.
In stepped this knockout femme fatale, holding a gun to my face. I returned the favor.
an actor, not an acquaintance or.
I know.
Lisa Punchinello. Lisa Punchinello was the Don's wife.
Mona Sachs. Lisa's evil twin.
Your safety's off, evil twin. You might hurt someone with that gun of yours.
Lisa's the damsel in distress. I'm the professional. I'd blow you away without batting an eye.
Sure, and you can check out my credentials splattered all over this joint.
Jack couldn't have framed you. Not the state he was in. We're after the same slime bag. Angelo Punchinello's the one who murdered your friend and framed you with it.
You know this for a fact.
I've got my sources.
I don't have a clue these days. I just shoot them as they come. Who put a contract on the archfiend?
This one's mine. I hate the guts of that sadistic wife-beater. Why not pool our bullets for this one?
I thought you'd never ask. My finger was starting to twitch.
How do you like your whiskey?
I'm easy, as long as you don't try to slip me a Mickey.
You're a real angel, Max.
It was good stuff. Tasted sweet as honey going down.
Nothing personal. Can't risk you going berserk and getting Lisa killed.
I put Valkyr in the whiskey.
The nightmare was always the same. Violent shapes moving in darkness, old and ugly. The killer's mad laughter was a riddle filled with wicked innuendo.
Oh, do you want to see the speedrun skips here?
Yes,
Some
that I'm gonna ruin.
The baby was crying.
I'm not good at this, but I'm gonna try.
Conceptually, I really like this the first time around. Playing through this in subsequent playthroughs is always a pain. Also, jump.
No, please!
Oh yeah, because like the low gravity. I think that's why they put that in there. It's like, well, people aren't really having fun with these, so let's just put low gravity in it.
It's also just like very stressful.
Oh wow, that might be a faster way of moving in general.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Speedrun strats as I was rolling. Yeah,
just take every left and
When
you'll
we
get there.
found you snoring next to Lupino's corpse.
There's probably faster ways. I just know that's
a comedian, huh?
The pictures were filled with good old times.
It's your version of you're going you're Jonesy for
Okay, here we go. I want to save. Now. Oh my
I
God, I just got a text
remember
message.
watch cartoons. Captain
Yeah.
Baseball Bat Boy's my favorite.
Oh wow.
Alright, there's one jump done. And I fell. Look at that! First try on each jump. That never happens for me. But that's the speed run to get through
Is
that.
that technically first try on each that you did fall?
First try on each jump. I didn't try the second jump, I just fell.
No, please God, no.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a cutscene still. I was just answering a text message. Look how much faster that is. Oh, that's right. That's not one of these. Alright.
Oh, are you back here?
No, I saved afterwards. I was smart.
That was a good call.
I forgot there was a second one. When I was a kid, when this game first came out, this part scared me to death.
Slice him, dice him, shoot him full of holes, blow him to bits, vaporize him, disintegrate him. No matter what you do, they'll still be back good as new.
Michelle's diary lay on the table.
No! I did that the last time too. Michelle's diary is a thing. It's actually, it's important to the plot, so we'll do it.
But I think this does a good job of like showing how it felt in that moment. Like these
Slice him, dice him, shoot him full of holes, blow him to bits, vaporize him, disintegrate him. No matter what you do, they'll still be back good as new.
Michelle's diary lay on the table.
It's a metaphor.
Michelle was working part-time in the district attorney's office. Her diary was open on today's entry. her handwriting all pretty curves.
An army dossier found its way to my desk yesterday. Valhalla? Isn't that a Norse myth? Something about Vikings? I tried to tell Max about it, but he was busy, that cute frown on his brow. Guess it's nothing, just a mix-up at the courier service.
From now on, I would always find time for her.
On the page.
It was a hollow
It's not just
promise.
scribbles. I was
Too
keeping that
little,
on
too
$10.
late.
That's exactly what it says.
Oh, yeah. I say like I read the whole thing. I just saw courier service and I was like, yep, that's it.
Max, no, please, Max. Why? I didn't mean to.
Why,
I'm
Max?
sorry.
Also, it's pretty cool how they even animated the slide going back with each pull.
Murderer! You killed her! Nothing like that ever happens in the real world.
The baseball bat.
I really. Okay, so this is a rough part.
This is an interesting part. You want me to do it or do you want to do it?
I woke up in a bad dream. My head felt 2 sizes too small for my brain.
Max Payne.
I was playing.
I envy your name.
And the killer was smiling.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Frankie the Bat Niagara.
Niagara, as in you cry a lot? He had a baseball bat and I was tied to a chair. Pissing him off was the smart thing to do.
Yeah. Depending on how
Nothing wrong with a little laugh now and then. Take me, for example. I love to watch cartoons. Cartoon violence is a fascinating thing. Let's take a break. I need to take a leak and maybe grab a cold one at the bar. Don't worry. I'll be back to finish this off. And then, it's checkout time.
You play, you pay, you bastard. He swaggered out, and the door clanged shut behind him, locks clicking into place. Everyone makes mistakes. Mine hadn't been to crack jokes about the goon with the bat. He'd have cracked my skull regardless. It hadn't even been to trust a girl with a gun. I had blindly gone after the first bad guy on my hit list when I should have been aiming further up the ladder, at the head of the Punchinello family. I couldn't bring myself to be pissed at Mona. Guess I had a soft spot for her pretty face. But when somebody decides to play baseball with your head, you tend to get sore. They had dragged me back to the basement of Lupino's hotel. I was beaten, bruised, and blue. I felt like the chair I had broken to get free. All I had was Niagara's bat, sticky with my own blood. Without a gun, I'd be no match for Frankie's men. I'd have to play hide and seek with him.
Whoa, 2 painkillers. Oh, wow, you can. How about that? No. Open up! It's Max Payne. I'm here to deliver the pain. Pizza time!
I'm not gonna go further down that road, but I really enjoyed that movie. And there's been some interesting games that come out of it lately. Kind of like
It's all about the stealth.
Without any stealth mechanics, it suddenly becomes a stealth game.
Just enjoy his nice flat top for the moment.
As much as there's this version of Max Payne is a classic, the hairstyle on this Max Payne is far and away my least favorite.
To be fair, though, he still has a slight bit of flat top on the character modeling, too.
I guess it's just... I just like Max Payne in the second one, how he looks like. Okay. I think you're gonna have to get someone in a hallway to get the drop on them. Because these guys, it's not a winning strategy.
Trust me. Trust me here.
Is this how you do it?
This is how I did the other night.
So, I don't agree with this one. I ambush at least a couple guys in the hall.
What, like right here?
Not exactly, but close enough.
Well, that worked.
Alright, well.
Okay, now I open it. There he is.
So I'll take it. I'm gonna switch to a single room.
Was that on duel?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna switch to this.
Was that intentional? You were doing a little bit of a James Stewart.
It wasn't supposed to be James Stewart. It was just the voice I did do was intentional, but it wasn't necessarily. Hang on, grenade. Kills a guy. We come over here. Kill this guy. Someone shot me.
That was interesting. So how are you gonna play this?
I'm gonna play Bogart.
Well, they're moving up, so you may be able to do the shotgun. Oh, you can play both.
I got them both, but
Sometimes you just kind of get stuck in the room and you have to figure it out. It's kind of like almost a game unto itself. Sometimes having to figure it out.
ooh, he's been damaged though.
You gotta shoot out these guys.
Oh my god, bullet time didn't save me.
When it comes to that situation, you need to, I think you need to shoot out.
What I was worried about though was being out in the open. Jeez! He's got my death, is what he's got.
Yeah, this is okay. So pop out of He's gotta move up.
Sometimes.
They're not gonna move up this time.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna deal with this guy instead.
Oh wow. That was a terrible decision on his part.
Yeah, this is like I said, I was playing this the other day. Needless to say, I was on this part for a while. They're gonna try and flank now.
You might want to
Maybe.
switch to a single one. You may not. Well, I'm caught looking.
That was supposed to be a lot cooler than it was. Supposed to be that. Can't use the other body as a meat shield if you're both dead.
Speaking of meat, like meat.
Oh, I don't like this part because it's like a little high stress situation because you have low ammo, little weaponry, no painkillers.
Yeah, this is like, I think my second least favorite part of the game. Like, it bounds from here, but, like, Ragnarok up into this part is probably the low point of the game for me.
Yeah. It's not bad. There should be a gun down here. Did I pick it up?
Maybe just out of reach. Can you go over here?
Yeah, that's where we're supposed to go.
What's up? Bye.
Don't mind me, just the guy you're looking for.
I feel like they should have made a little bigger reveal. You're literally running by him.
Things were fast going from bad to worse.
Well, actually, they do right here.
The men in blue had come and gone. They had decorated the place with chalk outlines and tied it together with yellow tape. The cops who had stayed behind were dead. Frankie, his boys, and I had the place all for ourselves.
What is the point of the chocolate thing?
Just forget about it. Just forget about it. Hey, just forget about it.
I don't know.
That crazy witch, you should have heard her. She was a real scream when the boys caught her trying to cap the Don. Oh, that's friggin' bad. The trio? That's even worse than what Frankie's doing to that poor bastard downstairs. She's gonna take a long time to die.
The mobster muscle on the phone was talking about Mona. Punchinello's trio were nothing but bad news.
Fucking bad.
News.
What is that tower?
That is the Empire State Building.
Welcome to. I forget what does it say on it? Welcome to. Look at that. Model that. Yeah, good idea. Just throw 2 on there.
Yeah, you know, and also, just pointing out, I'm pretty sure this building is a little more square, but I may be wrong. I'll admit if I'm wrong, I will accept that. I just feel like it's a little more of a square.
No, dude, you're wrong. You're not allowed to ever be wrong ever. The guy's just looked like he was sitting there. He was crouching. Looked like he was kind of chilling out.
Enough to reload. Get it? Because I reloaded my save.
That's just too on the nose.
Since the healer has gotten better.
Or no, it's like joke is never my scene.
Dang it, he still hit me.
Okay, so this is about when it starts to pick back up, in my opinion, when you go back to the hotel.
No, still not doing great on the painkiller front.
Well, you know.
More evidence that Punchinello didn't like me much.
There you go. Oh, perfect.
The fact remains that all the victims so far identified in the Ragnarok shooting have been known criminals, many of whom had large doses of V in their blood. Reliable sources say that Max Payne was also among those killed, although no body has been recovered at this time.
Reliable sources. That meant somebody thought the Mafia had me. Didn't want the cops snooping around anymore. The body would be delivered to them barely recognizable. Case closed. Don Punchinello had the power to be that reliable source, which was no news. But his news was old news. Framing me hadn't been enough. Don Punchinello had put a hit on me. He wanted me dead, and it had been important enough for him to give written instructions to Frankie about it.
Max Payne should die like a dog for the trouble he's caused. Frankie, I know I can trust you to give this matter the dedication it needs.
I just want to note something. He was a police officer.
Max Payne?
Yes.
Okay.
Then he went undercover.
Yes.
With his real name.
What the heck?
I just now thought of that.
I wonder, turn around. I wonder if you don't get those
They're probably still there. Alright, I got ammo.
Do not disturb, dude.
The hotel bar was fast developing quite a history. True to his words, Frankie was there, having a beer.
Jesus Christ. How the hell did you get loose?
Got bored waiting. Thought, what the hell, we could just as well finish this here.
I was expecting to go straight in.
You know, this fight is a lot like
Oh no.
Except with more Ingrams.
Yeah, look at that guy.
I can't ignore it. Oh my god, that guy had a light. He leaned around the corner and
Wow. That's a little. Look at him.
Yeah, this is not. You may need to press up in this. I think it's interesting that they choose different tactics sometimes. Right now, this is the normal situation. This is the hardest permutation of the situation, I think. How do you do this?
Just chilling. We got that guy back there. Frankie is doing not great.
Okay, or do this. This is different than okay, you're gonna have to jump in. You have to jump around that corner.
Now I am.
Yeah, that's gonna be balancing that. Keep that, he's gonna see where it's coming. See?
No.
You're gonna have to take care of the firewall first, and then you're gonna...
Yeah, it's looking that way.
That, but don't get as close to him. Okay, now turn and go over.
No, I was looking for a stagger.
Now we'll go back to I guess.
It's not great. Let me just shoot dodge straight into him.
Thank you. You've been a lovely audience. Had enough? I don't play with girls anyway. Unfair!
These are so weird.
I spotted the tail as soon as I left the hotel. A big black Mercedes. I'd seen the car before. That time it had heralded impressive explosions. Vladimir was back.
Bang. You're dead, Max Payne.
I might have laughed if I remembered how. What's this supposed to be? Cops and robbers? Look, you want something with me? Get in line.
Peace, man. Relax. You know you are a real news item. Armed and dangerous. I am going to make you an offer you can't refuse. I've always wanted to say that.
It's a bum rap. I've been framed.
Well, that's a moot point. Whatever you did or did not do, I'm sure you had good reason for doing it. Want to hear me out?
I'm listening.
How long is this next part?
Decently. Why?
I was thinking we may need to look at wrapping it up. Not in the not too distant future.
Punchinello messing with V is bad for business all around. But that's not all. There is this guy,
Boris Time, used to pull jobs for me. He's the captain of the cargo ship Charon. Now the bastard turncoat has gone over to the other side, Punchinello's. The ship's loaded with high-res hardware, guns, my business. If Punchinello gets hold of that cargo, he's won and I have lost. And you'll have your work cut out for you. If you want to get to Punchinello, you'll need heavy-duty persuaders. I am just the man to get them for you. Change the ship back under my flag, maybe pop 2 in the traitor Time's head while you're at it. You'll get enough guns to start the apocalypse. You in or out?
Let's get this show on the road. Vladimir was one of those old-time bad guys with honor and morals, which made him almost one of the good guys. None of us was a saint. The Brooklyn riverfront was a maze of rusty containers, sharp-boned cranes looming up from the snowstorm. On a night like this, you couldn't help but think of the dark army of dead men sleeping with the fishes, cement shoes in line. No Minotaur lurked in this labyrinth, but somewhere out there, on the clanking deck of his cargo freighter, the skipper of the Chiron was waiting, like the ferryman of the river Styx.
Still, working on that health deficiency.
Yeah, I don't think you really get a handle on it until you jump hard. Or at least it's not in a situation. I usually have a problem with it until I get on the inside.
The ship.
Yeah, whatever boat you get back out there. That's how I'm moving.
Hold up a beat to a pole.
That's a quick save.
It really does make me wonder how I did this back on the, Oh. Back on the PS2. Oh, that sucked.
They couldn't see the end.
I think we should let it Alright, so more my advice.
Furiously pushing the trigger. Jeez. They just don't care, man.
Now you should do like a shoot dodge back. Or that works too.
You do what you can. Nailed it.
There goes whatever is the last of Max Payne's skin on his head.
Oh my god. Oh, actually, you know what?
Dearest of all my friends. That's what I was trying to say right now. That's his line.
Yes, dearest of all my friends. Is that from 2 or 1? I think it's in 2, right?
I think that's... He might say it here at one point, but it's mostly used in 2.
It's used in the finale of 2. I'm wasting all of my bullet time thing. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it anymore.
This is so worth it, I promise. Oh my god.
I was able to overcome an army of men wielding machine guns. This was too much. I couldn't handle broken staircases. I had to admit defeat.
But not now. Because I just did it. It's one painkiller. It's worth it.
Oh, that was just for one painkiller. That wasn't gonna expect pants. Fair enough. We're in a rough spot right now. Shotgun snipe. Normally. That guy's dead.
All that I've lost, the bullet time, it's back, more or less.
It's good enough.
I don't know why it's quick save there. I'm just gonna quick save right here.
I mean, we're not, this is not like Resident Evil. We're not trying to like enforce things or anything. It's very much a casual run through the game.
Really? He still hit me?
I feel like RNG may be the wrong term, but it feels like RNG, so it kind of comes to this. It's hard to, I don't know, it can be hard to, your aim is very sporadic as well as theirs. Sometimes you just get that perfect storm.
Yeah, sometimes it's not great. Whack him! There we go. There's a bunch of guys here too.
I could be wrong, I
I want you to know that guy. I'm not reloading because that guy got killed by that.
I wonder what would happen if you were to somehow make it over there. You probably die too. See, and this is why shotguns cannot be trusted. You got him at lethal range and he's like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate you think you're gonna do something to me. Okay, we're at the crane part.
Unreliable. You cannot trust the shotgun.
They spawn after I hit
You just like stuck it around the corner. Like right at aisle.
What are you gonna do about it?
What the? Wow. Ingram is such a terror in these close quarter situations.
As a matter of fact, look, this is where I got to in the United States.
Oh, hey.
I also have more ammo. Yeah, let's compare really quickly. Oh, wrong save. I actually think I'm doing better on this save. On this save. Actually, I think I'm doing exactly the same. Look at my health here. See, and I have 7 painkillers, and it's just about to my thigh.
Huh.
I'm doing just as good. Yep.
Alright, let's okay. I was waiting for that noise.
That guy always drops painkillers, by the way.
Yeah, he's
Alright, I'm now officially further than I got the other day.
wow.
I don't want to get hit by this guy.
See, you're using all the ammo, you just hit him with this shoot down.
He still hit me. Remember that first time where he took like 2 hits and died?
Hard-boiled detective or one spongy boy?
Well, fugitive.
Hard-boiled fugitive detective or one spongy boy?
BOI?
Of course, that's the only way that meme works. There you go.
I was trying to hit the button for painkillers and it wasn't working. I am. Never mind. I'm a little further. No, yeah, that is where my save point was. Oh.
Bad time to reload. Video I watched called Max Payne 16 years ago.
Was it race day?
It was.
Yeah, I think I sent you that link.
Oh. Yeah, that's accurate sometimes. They kind of situations
Oh, well, see, look at that.
One of these days.
Really?
As you get killed. I was about to say, sometimes it's basically aggressive in these situations.
That guy died instantaneously.
Probably scored like a headshot or something. And then on the second time he did it, it just didn't end up the same way. That guy came in with some flair.
Raise the bridge.
Yeah, this part it helps.
No.
To have a couple quick saves going and to keep an eye on, do a little peeking around corners before you go. Really good to do strategy in practice with some kind of in general. There's a lot of dudes that are positioned in somewhat wonky places to have these set up these little ambushes.
Remember Max Payne tuning a sniper rifle?
Yeah, it was nice.
Quite nice.
I think you're about to get one. I like how yours is one of them. Where'd that dude come from?
I don't know.
In that game was like a dragon. Okay, he comes out of there. That's really interesting. What was he doing back here? Like taking a nap?
I doubted the letter was a receipt.
Oh, there's the sniper rifle. Huh. How about that?
Rico Muerte had come to town to do more than just sort out family troubles. Exhibits number 1, 2, and 3. A briefcase of money, a sniper rifle, and an envelope with one word neatly printed on a folded piece of expensive paper.
Mayor.
It didn't sound like a mafia contract at all. It was too cold and too to the point.
Terrible writing.
How do you aim?
Unplayable.
Okay, I thought I saw it.
To me, there's just nothing that had maybe like a dual Ingram shooter. It just feels so cool. You know, you just jump in and
Yeah, it is cool. I need to lower that bridge.
Oh yeah, you gotta okay, to your right.
Yeah, I see.
I think carefully it doesn't get you in the side. You might die just from that one. That'll help you.
Okay. That hit me?
Yeah, hitboxes are wonky this thing, as you will, as well you know.
Also know he was using a shotgun.
Said, didn't go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that. It's getting late for me apparently. I'm losing my cognitive function. I'm doing that thing where I say things and I know what I mean, but I'm not saying them.
I just don't want to take any damage, man.
Yeah, I mean, no hate. It's at this point, it's a very legitimate decision.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is bad. Before you go.
Aha, I got him. Finally, one guy died in one hit. How is he hitting me like that? That just seems ridiculous. With rats and oily water. There's just so many dudes. Jeez.
Yo!
Oh look, the shell came out. That's neat. I see a painkiller over there. That was not a painkiller. That was grenades. Well, at least that guy shot me and scared me from getting blown up.
Oh, you made a little progress.
Oh yeah, I'm on top of it now. Oh, Ingram's full.
Wow. I've forgotten how quickly you get all that stuff back. The way I was remembering it, you were turning until you got all the way until you got to the ship.
Dang it. You just take so much damage so easily.
Yeah.
Look at that, I was still technically around the corner when that hit me.
Yeah. In times like that, this game is sometimes the hitbox is... Oh.
Get that guy
Two
there.
left, two left. And dude,
oh my god!
Enemies everywhere!
I'm playing Max Payne 3 now.
It's getting like that last shootout at the airport.
Wow.
It's so cool. But the problem is when the music kicks in. Wow. Like when that music kicks in, it feels great. It feels to use an overused term, it feels epic. And then you die all the time, and it kind of lets you into some of the music. Okay, I get it.
I'm good. You doubt me?
No. It's more for expediency's sake.
There's one. Does that make you happy?
Yeah.
I'm getting back into my groove to where I'm like, okay, I always have 8 on me.
Yeah, which is why it's hard to oh my god. It's the way they shoot their guns is so
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that again since that seemed to be okay. That was essentially just a body slide. Ah, dang it, there's a guy right there. It works though. What are you doing, huh? Where are you going?
Alright, he's trying to flank you. In a very roundabout manner. The Kung Fu mod for this game?
Yeah.
If we ever do this game again, we should try it. Just to check it out.
Alright, that's a pretty decent amount from there.
Looks like a shotgun.
That's a pretty decent amount of engram ammo. Ingram. I don't know why I always say engram. Was there no one in here?
No, you picked it up.
Yeah, we're pretty okay now.
I think after this bit, I'm gonna have to
Yeah, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? Right. You wanna do it?
I'm not crisp enough anymore. Gaming my time.
Pop some pills.
Alright, Max Payne, thank you.
There was never a bad time to take some pills. I don't know what I'm gonna do in this situation. Good idea. What better sniper than the Beretta?
What a better sniper than wildly shooting two handguns. You need
Got
to reload.
That was a horrible idea.
What am I supposed to do now?
Oh, well, I am for it too. Boy, is there a way to zoom? Oh, just sort of a needle. There you go. That's not an easy gun to use.
No, I'm going to reload it for you. That's the gun I recommend for
Okay, super quick. Well, my health isn't where I'd like it to be, but I have it.
Like in that tower.
I just figured it was easier to put a little blue dot on. There's gotta be a way to do it.
It's a cool idea, but it doesn't work.
Is that right?
When they don't hit.
There's more dudes too.
Yeah, I would crouch.
Oh!
Okay, well, I'll take it.
I'm good at this game. You heard it here first.
You shot that rail so hard, the shot would have killed me.
Yeah. That's so good, man. That looks like a perfect spot for them to spawn. Right in the sternum. The sternum on his back, I mean. Who knows? I probably hit his sternum. High caliber.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like they're just saying hi. But at the same time, dude.
Jeez. The sponge is real, man.
These enemies
are everywhere.
I would like to do that someday on like a stream.
That the stream would be a better way to do it. The Let's Play idea that we had just to do it.
Hard, you know.
A game like that, yeah. Remember the beginning of the game where I was taking like no hits?
Well, you become very practiced.
That was pretty cool though when I was taking like no damage at the beginning.
Yeah, hold on to that.
It was just neat, man. It's never happened before. I was like rolling that nat 20 constantly. Max. It's like
I smashed my head into the shipping container.
It kind of felt like when I got my head beat by a baseball bat.
Funny as hell was the worst thing I could imagine.
Where am I going?
It's a question we all must ask ourselves from time to time in
Maybe
our life.
here.
Gun him down!
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna just reload anyways.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was not... Just reload that, that was... You need to try that again. He was right there. He came out with a shotgun. Whack the sucker!
There's no way you could have known I was there unless you knew I was there.
I had found Boris Dime's ship.
Alright, is the chapter gonna change when we hit the ship?
I don't think so. I think we might as well. Once we go, after we clear this group of enemies,
oh my god!
we can
Yep, I probably should have saved after hitting that switch. Oh, dude, be careful.
Wow, he was right there.
I had found Boris Dime's ship.
Okay, this time I'm gonna actually save. Really? Oh, Where's the second one?
You're doing all the shoe dodging and you're running.
I learned my lesson from Rico Muerte 5 years ago. Rico Muerte. Seriously, more like Rico Muerte, anyway.
Up top.
Up top, indeed.
Rust had crept over the sides of the cargo steamer a long time ago. Boris Dime would be on board. I'd have to smoke half of his crew to even get near the gangplank. The guns were probably being kept in the hold, buried amidst the rats and oily water.
Oh. Well, dang it, I was hoping that was the end of the chapter. Well, we're gonna go ahead and cut the stream off here.
Thank you, everybody who showed up. Next time, I guess tomorrow around a similar time.
Will we?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't have any plans for that, but yeah, we can totally do that. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you later.
Thank you.